Yes, I did. I did click the back button,
That's real hard
and
to start the show off when you click the back button, you butthole.
yes, it is. Speaking of which, welcome everybody to our late nights with Zod and PB. And you know what, PB? I feel like we're starting off the new year kind of ceremoniously because remember back in the day, you and me started this, just us talking. and
Like almost a year ago. I don't remember
yeah,
the exact date. All I remember is it was spring. So we got like another, gosh, from the way it feels outside, 6 months to go. Ha!
we certainly do. And welcome everybody to the late night talks with Zod and PB. We're doing it OG style tonight. We may get the rest of our bridge crew in here. You
No,
know,
don't lie to
uh,
people. Stevie already said that he's not going to be here.
no, no. I mean, there's more of us. We're everywhere.
I know. Well, I mean, at present, there are only five of us. Two of us are here. One of them isn't showing up. I don't know about Perp, and Proper, I think, is still doing something in the hills of Ohio Valley.
But we're gonna see who comes through, who comes in. But tonight is just a night to reflect about 2019. And man, 2019, some pretty big stuff happened. Not only just in the entertainment landscape, but in our YouTube landscape. Right, we established a lot of different things, mainly because of everything that fell apart as far as Hollywood goes. But I wanted to take some time tonight and talk about some stuff I didn't get to do before the New Year's came through because I had my daughter. But I wanted to talk about some of the highlights, some good things, some bad things, some high points of 2019, a lot of fucking low points in 2019 as far as entertainment, and then what our hopes and dreams are for 2020. And everybody out in the crowd, I want you guys to interact and tell us tonight, what are you guys looking for in 2020? What do you want in entertainment? What are you looking for in your media? Because that's why we do this, right, PB? We're all about the media and bringing quality
Well,
entertainment.
I think people know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for cheese.
Yes, PV, I know. Maybe we'll go through a list of cheeses you're hopeful for this year. But so let's start off with 2019, okay? And go through some of the things that happened there. So I wanted to first start off. This was an interesting year for franchises, right? We saw one end pretty
What, because
decently. I
all of
mean,
them
wasn't the
ended?
greatest. Yeah, a lot of them did.
I was thinking about that like 2 days ago. I was like, wow, everything ended in 2020 or in 2019. 2020 better start off with a freaking bang.
Right. So, I mean, I wanted to talk about some of our franchises that ended because honestly, um, I think that 2019 was interesting in ending a lot of things, and some things that were ended for us went out on a good note, and then some things just went out terrible. And isn't it kind of fitting? All right, everyone called this, but isn't it kind of fitting that the last franchise, the last thing to end, is Star Wars? Capped off.
Goes out on a whimper.
That's the last thing that we have for 2019. Welcome, Bear Bear. Uh, welcome to the fourth wave, which you know we had some franchise go out, right? Now a high point was Marvel. We can call that a high point, right? When you say Endgame,
I mean,
even
you
if
can call it a low point and a high point depending on where you want to start the story. They started the year with Captain Marvel. I wouldn't consider that a high point. but then they kind of peaked when they released the biggest movie of all time.
So for you,
I would call that a high point.
and apparently Wookiee supremacy is having a high point right now.
Good to see you in the chat, Wookie and Tommy, because Zod didn't say hi to Tommy yet for some unknown reason.
I said hi to Tommy in the chat.
Oh, I must have not been listening. Did you say hi to Audio Melon?
No, I did not. Thank you for catching that, my compatriot. Welcome, Audio Melon. Good to have you on. And welcome, everyone. So, you know, if you got the Twitter or whatever, send out the message. Let them know that we are streaming, and let's get some people in here. But this is my channel's thank you to you guys, because 2019 did see something special, and that's for me, PB, Stevie, Jay, and all of us, Perp. We got a lot of love for the community. And around this time, I started my late night talks, and we've had some great conversations here. But I feel like we owe it a lot too to Hollywood and them destroying our franchises. And not just that, but stupid news in general. I mean, for God's sakes, last
Meth
year we talked
Gator.
about meth gators.
Yes.
What? Let me just ask you guys, and let me ask the audience, how many people can go on a channel and hear about meth gators? There was no other channel that covered this. I swear to God, until we talked about it. Then everybody else started talking about meth gators. I mean, we were the first one to break that.
No, I was
Right?
definitely looking around all over the place, inside of our fandom community, outside of the fandom community. Literally, the only people that had brought it up was the local news from where the story originated from. And then it spread like frickin' wildfire. And now I think it's Black Angus is the one who's doing the comic called Meth Gator,
Yep. Yeah.
which I would
And
be down for reading something like that. It sounds hilarious.
I know, and we broke that. We broke a lot of interesting things here that no one else was talking about. And you know, I took some time off, as everyone is aware, for the holidays. A couple of other reasons I was taken off from streaming for a bit, and it's mainly because I wanted to do some good news stories. And I don't know about you, but even surfing around, there hasn't been a lot of good, really good, juicy news stuff to cover. So, you know, I want us to kind of bring interesting stuff for you guys to tune into. But 2019, you know, also um, had a lot of other different things come about. We've had, as far as the fandom menace is concerned, and you know, all the groups we've run with, like everyone has hit a lot of success. And PB, from your personal perspective, what do you attribute the success and the growth of our channels to? What do you think has been the driving force behind all of everyone just blowing up in numbers, except for me?
Well, I would say the biggest thing is honesty. Like, at least the ones that I'm going around to and watching, that they're giving, and it might not be what you think is honest, but it's their honest opinion. It's what they believe is causing the, I don't know, downfall of good entertainment, solid entertainment, enjoyable entertainment that doesn't make you face palm every 30 seconds because you're like, wait, how did that happen? How is this happening? What's going on now? I thought I knew what happened in this show, but then I got to the end of it and I was totally lost, that kind of shit. But when
Also,
there's
too, a
other
shout
people
out
out
to Sean
there,
Stackhouse.
hello, Sean.
Just
Yeah, when
I'm
there's
sorry.
other people out there that are just like, hey, this is a Star Wars product. This is a Marvel product. You need to just enjoy it. It's the best thing ever created. I'm going to be pretty skeptical of people like that. Like, I'm not going to get on board with people that say, well, because it's under this franchise, if you're a fan of that franchise, you should enjoy this, right? It doesn't matter if it's made for children. Fuck that shit.
And I think that you and me, we're buddies outside of our YouTube lives and things like that. And we talk and stuff like that. But I think the thing that made us connect as far as the YouTubing goes is that we share the point of views. And you've even called me out a couple of times. I'd have to go through various streams, but I'm sure it's 3 or 4 times a night, right? And
Three or
I
four
appreciate that
hundred.
at least. At least. And I think that's the thing that people are missing. I've seen it in the theaters, right? The people, the normal moviegoers don't have that, but we're living in an information age, and the people that are going online that are subscribing to our channels that are going on our awesome late night shows, or chilling with Sean and his show, or anyone else that they know, Lethal Lightning or anyone. We all have our different approaches to what we do here, but we all try to tell a truthful spin. And look, we might come at it at a different angle, but the truth is the truth, right? And the reason why that people are starting to like going to YouTube and YouTubers for information is because the media doesn't tell the truth anymore. You know, when's the last time? And I pose this for everyone in the chat. When's the last time you've watched Entertainment Tonight? You and me are a little bit older, PB, so we
The
can
last
remember
time,
the
wait,
days
what
where,
show?
like, an Entertainment Tonight or something. That's just what comes to my head.
Oh,
But
okay, one of
any of the
them.
hosts. Yeah.
Gotcha. I
When's the
feel the
last time
last
you would
time that I
watch it?
watched any one of those shows was in between when I was watching shows and it just happened to be on. Like, no, I couldn't tell you the last time when I was like, oh, the local news is over. Let's watch Entertainment Tonight. No.
Oh, and welcome, Ancient One. Good to have you here, buddy. Sean, honestly, I don't know if Entertainment Tonight is still on. I think it's like changed to some other bullshit, but it used to be that you can even click on those shows and listen to what they're saying. Now, my mom sometimes peruses and lands on one of them entertainment things, and I'm sitting there listening to it, and some of the stuff they're saying is just like listening to, not to point anyone out, we know John Campia, and you're just, and I am like, this is like not YouTube. This is like on television, right? This is nationally broadcast television, straight up telling lies. It's like tabloid newspapers getting a show. The Inquirer or the Journal. You remember those, right? It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
them being able to broadcast. That's how the news has gotten. That's how all of these outlets have gotten so bad, to a point that you can only watch the news for weather, and you can't watch any entertainment shows because they're only going to go for the movies that they approve or that they got press passes to, right? We don't get no fucking press pass. I'd love some.
Ooh,
Maybe I would
press
become a champion.
passes.
Yes, thank you, Bear Bear. He says ET is also an online publication, you know, and it's the truth. We have seen, we've gone through this age where it's sad, but YouTube is becoming more of a reliable source for people to actually browse for actual news. And I think that was one of my reasons for, and you and me discussed this, so you share with the viewers tonight. But that was the reason why we wanted to do this late night thing, because I was talking about it. I'm like, even late night television, like, what spurred the idea was I sat back and watched Jimmy Kimmel. You ever watch that show for? any length of time? Because I did
The
for the Avengers.
last time I watched it for any length of time was right before Endgame was coming out because they have all of the actors on it to promote it because it's the ABC show.
Was that not the worst experience of your life? That show, PB, is so terrible. It's like god
No, I
awful,
would
even just getting
appreciate
through
it
an interview.
when, if you're supposed to be a comedian, it would be nice if you would come out in the monologue and actually tell jokes instead of just harping on politics for 10 to 15 minutes.
And that's the thing. We've here, and you guys can always go back to my playlist and listen. We've here have busted jokes on each other continuously. People have more than been able to do jokes in the crowd here, at me, or you know, you guys have said funny stuff on my reading and things like that, right? And I don't take it to heart because it's funny. It's good entertainment. It's what entertainment used to be. And you watch these guys with these scripted programs, and it's so terrible. And it, whether you like Jay Leno or David Letterman or any of those other old school comedies, I felt an authenticity from that. Even if I don't agree with Jay Leno's politics or David Letterman, especially not Letterman, but they were funny, right? They had at times really funny jokes. I find myself laughing, even if it was a dig on the politics, because they were
Well,
never
yeah,
one
I
side or
mean,
the other.
with Jay Leno, I mean, off the top of my head, I can list at least two segments that I could laugh all the way through the segment, and that was, I believe, what headlines on Monday that they did every
Yep.
Monday, where it was people sending in their newspaper clippings or whatever it was, or finding a headline someplace, and he'd read the headlines, and then there's a joke that goes with the headline, or sometimes just the headline is the joke, and then jaywalking. Jaywalking was freaking hilarious. You find these stupid people
Yep.
on the freaking street and you ask them questions and they're dumb as hell.
And it's like that kind of comedy just feels so dead. I mean, in this era, we can't even have stand-up comedy. And this was 2019 to me feels like the worst push for safe spaces, political correctness, agenda driven politics. I mean, none of us really wake up and go, you know what? We want to start talking about how there's always a narrative and everything. I don't know if some channels do. Maybe they get their clicks off of it. I don't know everyone. I've just interviewed a few people, but
Well, I mean, I'm sure that, yeah, there's definitely people out there that cover that.
but no one, I don't know about you, but it's depressing when you start getting into a show, right? You really like a show, and then all of a sudden, you know what I'm talking about, PB. You see it seep in. All of a sudden, there it is. You get a great show. There's a good rhythm, and all of a sudden, there goes the politics. There's the agenda, and it's been in everything, and it's so frustrating. And this is why our channels exist because it's just like we don't want to bitch and complain. We just want our entertainment back. That's what I mean, we want to be able to sit down after working, a bunch of shifts and dealing with bullshit. You want to sit down with your with your girlfriend or your wife, and you want to be able to watch a show and not be able to point out where they're gonna have the multicultural thing, or you know where they're gonna throw in the you know
Wait, are
gay
you
stuff. And
anti-culture?
I'm a Kryptonian. Yes, only
Ah,
those who are Kryptonians.
burn all of the cultures.
Equally, because we're
Yes, you
about
burn them
equality.
with your eyeballs.
But I mean, and here's the thing: there's nothing wrong. Don't get me wrong. There is nothing wrong with political messaging. And I was talking about this with Odin in our interview. Look, political messaging has been around since Hollywood has been a thing. Every director, I think the basis of good music and rebelling against the system has always been a subtle undertone of politics, right? I mean, one of my
Oh, I
favorite
thought you were
Green
going
Day
to say a sweet bass line.
and a sweet bass line, but it, it's always been to have, some kind of underlining political message. But there's the key word, folks: underlining messaging in stuff. And 2019 to me felt like the year of beating you over the head constantly with stuff. So, swinging back to our franchises, right? Let's just take, for instance, let's take two very different franchises, both that are the end of something, right? You have Endgame. Was there messaging in there? It's 2019, or it was, right? So, yeah,
Yes, we
there was
all
some
know
messaging
that
there.
there's messaging in Endgame. They take all the women and they put them up on a hill.
Yep. I mean, it's, but look at that movie as a
But
whole.
it's a
It was
3 hour
great.
movie and that's like
Movie,
30
yeah,
seconds. So,
seconds. Yep. Now, let's take Rise of Skywalker, right? Because that's the thing to talk about now. Rise of Skywalker, because it's the newest thing. And, I've seen this movie sadly 3 times because my friends hate me. And,
wow.
yeah, I got to get new friends. But
Hey, man,
you
it's
look,
not as bad as people that have watched The Last Jedi 3 times.
oh, God, if you ever want to interrogate someone, just sit them down there and that during Roast Tico. We need to fight with love. Bitch, it's intergalactic war. I kept on waiting for someone to say that. I'd be like, hey, Rose, guess what? Uh, it's we're in the middle of war. What do you think
Yep,
we were going to win
Star
this
Wars, not Star Savings.
with?
That's the Bank of the Republic, by the way. Star Savings, that's the bank.
So, Empire Trust, but so, um, but when you think about it, okay, you had Endgame, very little messaging, and overall, I'm not gonna doubt it. There's now that we've dissected the movie, there's problems, but I still sit down and watch it. I still enjoyed it. Okay, now look at Rise of Skywalker, and like, sure, this last installment in particular wasn't the worst on messaging, but they sacrificed so much story in their second film to messaging, which you didn't see the effects of it in the second film necessarily, right? Grossed, what was it? Almost 1 billion in its opening weeks. That's been the comparison now. It was almost up to 1 billion Last Jedi in
Oh
its
yeah, it
opening
was
week,
cooking right along there at the beginning because it fell off like crazy.
right? So, it did fairly well. But now look at how the third film has suffered for it, right? And we can just take monetary out of it and let's just put it in story. JJ, people want to blame him. And yeah, maybe he does have some blame. But when you really think about the overall writing, what did he really have to work with? I mean, the story was compromised. When you have a middle part in your trilogy that compromises your story, people, let me ask you, and you guys can go ahead, throw your answers in the chat. How do you fix something that's broke in the middle piece? That would be like, okay, maybe not everyone likes Godfather, right? But one and two are amazing movies, right? So you have one and two. You can fuck up that third one. We can just forget it ever existed. There were still some good parts, but let's just cut that out, right? You had the first movie was great and considered an American movie classic. The second one is argued to be better than the first one, right? The middle is considered to be better than the first movie ever made. It was that good, right? So you can't fuck up the middle of a trilogy. That's your like centerpiece of your story. And when that middle got messed up, I mean, and think about what Marvel did, PB. 20 movies. Whether there's movies in there you don't like, they still had connective tissue for 20 films. That is astonishing. That's beyond a trilogy. I mean, we're talking about a shared universe of
Yeah, it's beyond a
movies.
trilogy, and the way
So
that they had it set up, you didn't necessarily have to see, you don't have to see Ant-Man to go and watch The Winter Soldier. Like, you don't have to
exactly.
do that. They're connected, they're in the same universe, they're on the same Earth, they're in the same timeline, all of that bullshit, but they're not directly connected, especially the way that The Last Jedi is supposed to be connected to The Rise of Skywalker. How do you build on a pile of shit?
Exactly. Exactly. See, people on their channels have dived into how rushed it was. It's like two movies, blah, blah, blah. But really think about it. You essentially do have to do your third film like two movies because he's missing a movie. You're missing a whole central part of your story. That would be like, okay, say Marvel messed up one or two, right? We had Thor to the Dark World and Captain Whammon. Like the I mean, and we saw those movies did not impact the whole, okay, because they still had a good built base. And yes, you can say Marvel uses the same generic formula, but they did something very smart. If it wasn't broke, they didn't try to fix it, right? And what did
That's
now
correct.
let's look at the now let's look at the inverse of that. What did what did Star Wars try to do? They rebroke it. You know, instead of trying this third film, and I said it in my review, would have benefited from just starting from scratch. But that's where I think JJ has a problem because he's not good at ending stuff. And really his beginnings kind of rip off of something else.
No, and with
And he
how
had no template.
right, and with how convoluted it was, I don't know why they couldn't do the whole dream sequence thing. I mean, you already retconned a bunch of stuff from The Last Jedi. Why didn't you just go full balls to the walls and say, well, this didn't actually happen because we didn't expect, you know, a stormtrooper to recover in 16 hours from having a lightsaber slice his back open?
Yeah, exactly. And
Be like, he grew his hair out while he was in the Bacta tank for a year. I mean, you could have had the story be entirely different, and it still, I mean, it still could have failed, but I don't think that it could have done much worse than bringing back Palpatine. And the reason is, as LB would put it, because.
like um and I did get your DM there, Bear. Um yeah, it's that you know, this this trilogy had no direction, or maybe one person had a direction, another person had another direction, and it messed it up. Now, Marvel had how many different directors, how many different writers, how many
Don't know.
different visions and interpretations of these characters, but yet you had one person with an overarching idea, and that was Kevin. And I'm sure
Yep.
he sat down in those
Kevin
meetings and he
who?
said, hell for the new year, Foggy.
Kevin
the,
Foggy.
the force is strong in that one. He clouds minds.
Exactly. Anyway,
But you know,
yeah, there's a
you had
huge difference between Kevin Feige and Kathleen Kennedy.
yeah, you had one person who said, "Hey, you know what? You guys can do your own interpretations just so long as it doesn't mess up the what? The main narrative. You can reimagine Ant-Man, you can reimagine the Wasp, you can take Thor and put him in space and have funky rock music and have Hulk naked, as long as the story still arcs back to the story we're telling, right? And every person had a different vision, every person had a different interpretation. But even the bad Marvel movies, always you saw the through line to the main story. And that's over the course of 20 films. And you have a person who only has to navigate three. Screw it up. Like that
Yep, you
in
had to go
general.
through 3. That's it. And all you had to do is
Welcome.
incorporate some old actors. You don't even have to give them main roles in the story because the people that want to see them, they're just looking for something along the lines of Iron Man in Spider-Man Homecoming. How long is he in that movie? He's in the movie far less than Harrison Ford is in The Force Awakens, but yet it
Yep.
feels like he's in the entire movie.
Yeah, exactly. And that's great acting talent. And speaking of great acting talent, what's up, Justin?
That was a very nice introduction.
It
Thank you.
was.
That was overly generous, but I'll take it. You mentioned the Hulk being naked. What is this?
Ragnarok.
We're talking about how somebody being at the head of creative can still keep a bunch of different directors on track. Like, how many different directors and writers were there for the MCU, yet the story still follows, whereas Kathleen Kennedy couldn't keep 3 people on track, when really she dumbed it down to 2 people, and she couldn't even keep 2 people on track.
Well, it was the middle guy that screwed it up, big time. Whatever plan that they had, they're like, okay, you can do whatever you want. Cool. Look how that
Just
turned
make
out.
sure you get this messaging in your movie, and then it's fine.
Yeah, we need more animal rights in Star Wars.
Oh my!
We
Yeah,
need that in a
well,
galaxy far, far away. We need it.
Justin, we saw why we needed them so that you can have them running along a star destroyer with no oxygen mask on space horses. It all connected.
No, I say murder all the salacious crumbs and burn them to a crisp so I can eat them up.
But
eat the
we're
porgs.
celebrating.
Eat all of them.
Fuck yeah! They look
We're
delicious,
we're
man.
Yeah, that should be a Galaxy's Edge product right now. What's the
pork
excuse?
stew.
Rotisserie chicken, and you call it roasted porgs or something?
Right. Talk about one thing where they could actually give it the Star Wars name and people might actually know what it is.
Yeah, they'll buy it.
Oh, and hold on a second, guys. I want to give a shout out to Wicked and Friends Parody Bizarro Productions. Welcome back, buddy. I haven't seen you in the chat in a
Happy
while.
New
I know you've
Year.
been busy. So, Happy New Year, everyone. I'm doing an introspective episode of the late night talks where we're just going through and talking about the franchises that succeeded in 2019, the franchises that uh, failed epically, and what everyone here on the panel will get to later tonight is what we want to see for 2020. So we're in 2020, we're starting off the new year. I gotta tell you, I'm excited for a remake. Finally, The Grudge comes out this Thursday. Everybody check out Thursday night. I'll have my review up for it. But I'm super excited because my favorite director, Sam Raimi, will be directing and writing it, and he starred in the remake, the 2008, with Sarah Michelle Gellar. So if anyone can get it right, it'd be him. So super excited about that.
Wait, Sarah
But
Michelle
anyway,
Gellar is going to be in it?
no, she's not going to be in this new one. He's rebooting it. But he was in the original one. He had like a cameo, and he was a producer. And now he's directing and writing. He's also consulting with the original Japanese writer of The Grudge. So
Interesting.
and they are giving it an R rating. So I'm really hopeful for it because any horror
Speaking
movie
of
should.
R ratings, in 2019, we finally got an R-rated movie that made it over $1 billion.
You know, I was going to bring that up eventually. I wish Stevie wasn't being all fancy tonight because
No,
I
him
know
and
he
his
loves.
dinner.
But yeah, Joker, right? We had, I felt like the end of the year, while we did take a big hit with Star Wars as fans, we knew it was gonna. We all knew it was gonna be good, but I felt like we did get some surprises, and one of them was the Joker. And I think that that movie should be a landmark for that year. Honestly, I mean, and not because I love DC, and I'm just gonna show. By the way, DC Universe is still having it special. If you sign up now and enter the promo code Zod, you'll get
Son of a bitch.
15% discount. So go experience DC Universe. Anyways, um, the uh, the Joker. So the Joker came out in 2019, and DC needed a win, and I feel like this was this was a win to make them competitive because we talked about MCU, right? And I said they're very formatic, and if the formula isn't broke, don't try to fix it, right? That's their plan. It's working for them. DC
Yep.
needed a plan. They needed a formula. They needed
Yep.
a
Todd
good
Phillips
writer.
is like, I got formula.
Yeah, and it helps,
And
when you have a lot of different creators, kind of throwing in their 2 cents in the same universe. It helps if they're all origin stories, essentially standalone films that you don't necessarily have to connect to any of the other ones. It's actually kind of helpful. It's something that you should have done before rushing into a Justice League film, which is really stupid. And it's not even a real full film. And no, I'm not
yeah,
on board with the release the Snyder cut. It's not going to make it any
oh
better.
god,
It's still going to be
we
the
thought,
same shitty movie, except even longer. It's not like the
yeah,
Richard Donner Superman 2. Sorry.
I feel like somewhere there's a tingle in the force because Lethal's like, did someone say release the Snyder cut? He's
Oh my
like,
god, him
I've
and
been
Brian
summoned.
won't shut up about that. I love those
Oh
guys
my
so
god.
much, but guys, can you go a stream without talking about that stupid Snyder cut? I
No.
might just buy a copy of Justice League just to break the discs and just burn it.
Oh man, that would be great. That'd be like when Jeremy broke his Force Awakens Blu-ray.
I haven't even seen the movie, and I hate it. Like seriously,
You haven't even seen Justice League,
no, and
like
I
any of
don't,
it?
and I want to.
I mean, you
No,
don't have to.
yeah, yeah, you
Because
never
like you
have to.
said, it does exactly what you said. They rushed to a Justice League movie before introducing you to all of the characters. Who does the Avengers movie right after the first Iron Man?
Yeah, like who the fuck is Thor, Captain America? Who the fuck are these guys? Oh wait, the Incredible Hulk. We know him.
Yep,
And
that's the
that's
only
the
one.
situation.
I mean, Captain America, they'd be like, well, that sounds familiar, but I don't really know anything about him.
And I
Right.
think DC has had a weird 2019. Okay, so let's let's not just look at the Joker. They did have other successes, whether or not you like the movies. They did well with Aquaman. Shazam was
Whoa, whoa,
good. It
whoa, whoa,
wasn't a big
whoa.
critical
Aquaman
success,
was a
but
2018 movie.
was it 2018?
Totally, it released in December 2018, at least in America.
Well, hold on. Like, no, we're talking. I guess we're going back and talking about like a slightly different point.
Yeah. So they had come off of that, and then the newest one was in 2019. Shazam, right? Was the one that premiered in 2019.
Yes.
Yeah, it was Shazam, and that commercially didn't do as well as they wanted it to, but it wasn't a flop. I mean, they still broke even on the production at the end of the day, so they didn't really lose any money
Right.
on
They
that.
did
It
not
just didn't
pull a
gross.
solo.
Yeah, it just didn't gross what they wanted it to. So DC this year has had a win. Now everyone's gonna want to talk about it, and it's always the same thing: MCU versus the DCU. And now we've seen MCU; they put a close now to the Infinity War saga, right? And they're starting a new one. So this could be the year that DC has a chance to kind of take the market. You know, they're coming off a Joker. I hope to God Birds of Prey is going to be good. I heard some good things coming out of it. The directors have nodded that they don't want to make it a feminist statement or anything. So that's good.
For what movie?
Maybe we'll get a good Birds of Prey.
Oh,
They're
Birds
saying
of
they don't want to
Gay.
do
Yeah, that still hasn't come out yet.
no,
Not yet.
but
Birds of
they're
Gay.
saying. And John H. Shelton, welcome. Good to have you on, buddy. Um, Thank you for joining the Fandom
Was he
Zone.
related to
But yeah,
Blake Shelton?
no, I don't believe so.
Is that even the right spelling?
Of Shelton?
Hold on.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But
I always thought his name was Blake Sheldon for some reason.
That's funny. I like that.
I'm not the only
so
one.
Because he's a country guy, so he has two first names. It makes perfect sense. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
so so here's the thing. You guys kind of got a feel for where the MCU is going. We all do, right? After Endgame wrapped
Yeah,
up.
it's going to phase 4.
So do you think that the MCU might dip a little bit and that the DC might start gaining ground? I mean, think about the fact that they put out a movie with what, a 34 or $35 million budget and made $1 billion. I mean,
First of all,
that's pretty.
from everything that I've seen, it was a $55 million budget. We ain't got to squabble about what the budget was. But I think it'd be interesting if they can do the two universes at the same time, and not that the black label movies are going to be connected to each other, because if they're all going to be like standalones, not connected to anything, that's fine. But if you keep your connected universe together, if they're able to do both of those at the same time and they're both successful, they will easily be able to catch Marvel in the money making process.
To be honest with you, I would like to see uh, someone competitive. Look, the reason why Disney has been able to dominate for the past 2 years now, 3 years, is because they've had no competition whatsoever. I mean, look at the Christmas lineup. Look at the movies that were out. What was there? And everyone makes Rise of Skywalker like it's a big thing because it's doing so well in the box office. But you know what? I work at the theater, and guess what theaters were sold out? It wasn't Rise of Skywalker. It was Jumanji and fucking Little Women. Just think about Little Women sold out for 3 showings, and Star Wars was under 70 people. That is ignorant.
Hey
The
man,
movie theaters,
don't sell them short.
and I actually like that movie. But I
Wait, you
mean,
liked
I
it?
gave that movie. Oh, it was great. It was great. It was not what I thought it was going to be. I thought they were going to do feminist politics, but none of that at all.
Is there too much Meryl Streep in there?
Nah, she's in it for like maybe 5-10 minutes of the film.
All right, let me
2
know
hours.
so I can go to the bathroom during that part.
Actually, she was hilarious. Actually, she had the non-feminist line. Like, there's a great line in it where one of the girls, she pulls the whole, "I want men to know me for my brilliance and stand out and stuff. And she goes, "There's only two ways that you're going to make it in this world. Either you marry rich or you become rich." And she's like, "Well, you don't need a man." She goes, "Yeah, I was left wealth." And it was like, thinking about it, and like, for the time, that's a pretty good line. Like, it had very good acting in it. It was a very decent story. Um, and it had a good message, and brought my daughter to see it. And it was a decent film. But the point being, though, think about the competition. So you have Little Women, you have Jumanji, you have
Cats.
Cats, which is not even really
Meow.
They are not even a part
that.
of the conversation. The cats.
Nope.
What a bunch of
My friend,
pussies.
uh, and hi to Bitchy Unicorn, who's literally right upstairs. So she's going to. Oh, she's saying PB, PB, PB.
I know that's because I said unicorn, unicorn, unicorn first.
It's just like fucking Candyman.
No,
Oh God.
it's
PB's
safer.
just standing behind me like, son of a bitch. Like, no, summon me back. Someone summon me back. Just let's get derailed like we do on this channel from talking.
Oh, bitchy unicorn says, "Yeah, that's right. Notice me, you basement bitch."
Well, damn.
So,
That's funny
yeah, she's
shit.
saucy. That's why I love her. But anyways, so just imagine you're Candyman, right? Now, okay, the myth of the Candyman is that you say his name in the mirror 3 times, he comes and he kills you or whatever.
5 times.
Let's say like, or 5 times, whatever the stupid thing is. I did that bullshit, nothing happened. I was so pissed. I was that kid. I'm like, oh, let me see after the movie. I'm like, let me see if this is a thing. It's not. But I mean, imagine though. Okay, he's oh, bye, Audio Melon. Thank you for joining us. Imagine if he's sitting back chilling, right? It's the Candyman's day off. He's drinking a beer. He's watching the game, right? And imagine he gets someone in the mirror. Do you think he's like get pissed? Like, stop saying my name.
No,
God
he
damn it, I just want
enjoys
one
it.
day off.
He loves it.
So
I
you
think
don't
he
think
loves it a bit too much.
hmm That's like
you don't think
that's
the
his
man wants
vice.
one day off?
I think he,
No, no,
he's a man who loves
okay.
his job.
Okay,
Like the Grim
I don't want to
Reaper.
get racist
Yeah.
here, but he was already a slave. Now he's a slave to a concept. I mean, that's a little on the nose. I'm, I'm
It's a
just
hey, you
saying.
know what?
And
No, he gets to kill
people
stupid
was like,
white people who say his name in the mirror. I'm sure he's thrilled. I'm sure he's absolutely thrilled.
Speaking of summoning,
Why are you talking about slaves? You said speaking of slaves.
You
Yeah,
did
what
say
the
that while
hell?
introducing Perp.
You
Jesus.
can't. Oh my god.
Oh my God. God's a
Jeez.
racist.
I
2020,
heard
we're
some
gonna get
slave
kicked
stuff.
off the internet.
Literally said, speaking of slaves, hey Perp.
What the fuck?
You are canceled.
What is
Hashtag Zod.
canceled?
Shit.
Hashtag
Hashtag no more Zod in 2020.
Like,
new
talk about
decade,
things that should
new
have came to an end at 2019.
Hashtag bring
guys.
back Lee.
This show has spanned for over 2 decades. It's so stupid.
I'm stuck up.
oh, welcome,
Happy
Perp.
New Year to the all.
And a happy new beer to you.
Oh, new beer, yeah. Amen.
So we were talking about franchises, their ups, their downs. What's what we think is
They're
going to be
upstairs?
trending this year.
What are
we
you
were talking about?
Oh.
No, we were talking about their ups, their downs. Now we were talking about
their ups and their downs. Okay. All right.
The box office and everything and things to look forward to. And I was saying 2019 had a couple of highlights. So Perp, what did you see as a highlight for 2019? Like, what franchises do you think did pretty successful, and which ones went out with a whimper? Star Wars.
I mean, Star Wars did all right. They're doing all right. They still made more money than these other sequels, but we're not gonna get into that.
That's true.
Fucking, I guess. Wait, what was the question again? So I'm like fucking driving.
What were
Which
the
franchises you
that,
think
have been
did the
doing
best
well?
this year?
Yeah, which ones have been doing well? Which ones have been stinkers?
Obviously, the MCU. That's like a no-brainer.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fair.
With a lot of mediocre films along the way, but it's all good.
Oh, there were so many. More bad.
No, I will agree with the point that the quality of the MCU movies for the amount of money that came through the box office does not equal out.
No, not at all. And it's interesting for 2020 because here's the thing: MCU, Star Wars, and then the Disney has, I like to call the remake division. They've been doing quite well, but it's going to be interesting to see in this new year whether or not the people are going to go for it. Like, I mean, I'm already seeing a dip in attendance for Star Wars, and not just my theater, but other theaters that I talk to too. But we're contractually obligated to keep a certain amount of theaters for these weeks. So, all new films that are coming out are only going to get one theater, unfortunately. But I mean, there's no competition either. Now, it's going to be interesting in this new year to see. We saw a boom. Let's talk about remakes. We saw a boom in remakes. Like, my goodness, who here, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but who here is getting tired of seeing 15 million remakes? And I'm not just talking about Disney. I mean, just across the board. Remakes on everything.
No, bring on all of them. In fact, remake the
God.
never-ending story and make it actually good.
Yeah, relax. But we are getting a Grudge reboot this weekend, so I should have probably gone with that.
I'm actually looking forward to that because Sam Raimi is one of my favorite directors.
Whoa.
What has he done lately?
So if it's one of your favorite directors, then you're on board with this remake stuff?
Oh, I'm on board with remaking something that has at least a span of like years in between. Yes.
There's so many years in between The Lion King and The Lion King.
Yeah, there are more years in between Halloween and Halloween than The Grudge and The Grudge. There was more time in between Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies and
no, there wasn't. Halloween had a remake with Rob Zombie.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fastest reboot though was the Suicide Squad because in 2021, which will be next year, that's already getting a reboot. So it's like, yeah, that was quick.
Yeah, that's a big turnaround there. But there's a difference though with rebooting something. Okay, so let's suss out the two differences. Okay, we have rebooting and then we have remaking. Okay, now this Grudge one is a reboot as far as I know, but rebooting a series is just taking an established story and updating it for a new era. Remaking is doing the same exact movie in a new era and tweaking the story. They're not the same thing.
Like, I disagree with your definition.
Yeah, it's too soon. They're getting too desperate. No, thank you. I have no desire to see The Grudge at all. That's just me. I mean, I never really. I think I might have seen it years. I remember seeing the original one, the Japanese one. That was kind of cool.
Oh, that was
that's just terrifying.
Yeah, it didn't really terrify me. I was just like, this is kind of creepy. I don't like this.
I think just because like the practical effects of it and stuff, like it was goofy at the same time, but also like you had the bitch like standing like over overtop you and stuff like that should freak me out. I'm like, what the fuck?
And she was a real contortionist. Like the actress, she could really move like how she moved in the movie. That wasn't any effects.
Is she
She
coming
like
back?
contorted her body like that. At the Mako, no, she's a little bit older than what the requirement is for the character.
Boo.
The actress who played in the original is a little bit older.
Okay.
So they can't use her again. But the original director from the Japanese version is working with Sam Raimi. He's got writing credits on it. So the guy who came up with the story is working with Sam Raimi as well to do the reboot.
So he's now
Which
been
I
a
think
part
is
of it
important.
3 times. He's now done the
He likes
same
the story.
story 3 times. Does he have nothing
It's a
better to
cultural-
do? Is it like
I
is that
mean-
the only story that he like has made?
And they also tried to
No.
they also try to reboot The Ring and stuff. I was like, those type of movies like The Grudge and The Ring were good for the time. Like those remakes that came out in the early 2000s, those were a good time for those to come out. As opposed to like now, where like you can't really get more creative than that, you know, like or just
Yeah, because it's one thing to introduce and remake something from another culture to make it more Americanized, to be more relevant to that market. Because let's be honest, Americans, a lot of them, the general audience, do not like dubbed movies or like having to read during the movies, like the subtitles.
Because reading is bad.
Except for in Star Wars, and even that is a pain in the ass nowadays.
yeah, I wouldn't mind like them putting like more Indonesian like horror movies or like with like subtitles. But yeah, I know what you mean. Like most people wouldn't like go see it. It kind of
Well, it's not that they wouldn't go see it. I mean, if it was at least dubbed, it would maybe it would feel right. But I mean, because I've seen dubbed movies before, and it works. But I can tell that they're not speaking English. Like you could tell, like whenever they dubbed all the Godzilla movies,
Thank you.
and their
yes.
mouths kept moving. They're like,
They're
this
epic.
doesn't feel right, and they're like they talk like Americans. And like, oh, that guy, that Asian dude, his name is Scott or Brian. I'm like, what the? No, it isn't.
there is no Scott or Brian in.
There's no Brian. Imagine if some Asian dude is named Brian. He's like, my name's Brian. I'm like, oh, sorry.
I don't mean to culturally appropriate, but
what is
Sure
he
you're not just
appropriating
half
American
Asian?
names? What are you talking about?
basically,
That's
He,
racist.
he
That's the
culturally-
second most racist thing you have said on this stream.
In all of 2020.
You're starting off the year
I'm
strong.
I like it.
So yeah, speaking of which, let's get into some stuff in 2020 that came about ridiculously with the media and the racism that apparently we all are a part of, and I've been perpetuating in the course of 58 minutes.
In the course of your whiteness.
In the course of my white list, let's talk about the ridiculousness in 2019. Is it just me, or did this safe space, safe talking areas and point of personal privilege and all the other bullshit that we covered throughout this year, was it not the worst it's ever been this year? Like, this year has been so bad for these things that have been going on with these snowflakes and saying yeah, you guys are racist and sexist and you're culturally appropriating things and blah blah blah. This we have seen.
Oh, you left off my favorite ist, misogynist.
Oh yeah, misogyny has
Their
been
reign
real
of
this
terror
year.
is almost over.
We must destroy the patriarchy.
No.
So, Justin, thank you for kicking this thing off. So, do you feel that this wave of oh God, I don't even know what to call it. Someone help me out here. What are we calling it? I think it's idiocy, personally.
Bullshit. An invasion. An invasion of politically correct assholes. Oh no, the invasion of Berkeley. The invasion
Oh,
of UC Berkeley to the Twitterverse. Now to
oh,
Hollywood.
God.
All these West Coast nuts.
So we've been seeing an uptick, and I've gone and with this younger generation, I've gone to the
So you're saying it's a
see
West
the
Coast nut
colleges.
spread?
It starts there.
So
Okay.
in 2020, do you think this thing, Justin, because you're in that area, do you think that this is going to start to die down, or do you think these automatons are still going to be coming out and assimilating into our fandoms and the Twitterverse?
Well, you have to remember that, the majority of Americans don't like this crap and do not subscribe to it. You just don't hear about them because Hollywood does not care about the opinions of other people that are not theirs. But they also care about what makes them money. And once people are already starting to get pissed off about it. I mean, people have been pissed off for ages, and now you're starting to see a trend of, if you say F you to the customer or F you to, the fans, which has been seen a few times. I think Hollywood will finally catch on to it, and you're gonna have the normies who are like, oh, whatever, it's a movie, I don't care. But people who get pissed off about this, who are just like, okay, these movies, like this year has kind of sucked with movies, and same with the 2018. I feel like the last half of the decade was pretty like it just got worse and worse, and it was like 2015. It's just like, okay, we're starting to see a bad trend here, and then maybe it'll be different now, but right now it's still kind of in its peak. But we all know these kinds of trends will fade away, so all good things must come to an end.
Perp, you how do you feel about these people taking up the good fight for you? I mean, like, these people are battling for the hardships that you go through every day, man.
Wait, what?
They're
battling for me?
That's what they tell us.
Yeah, all right. Ain't nobody dying for me. Ain't nobody jumping on a plane from New York. Ain't nobody out there being America. So.
Oh, Perp.
Exactly.
Oh, Perp,
where are these people standing in line taking that blade for me so that I can get my chicken sandwich?
How about instead of spending $13 or $14 on a possibly trash movie, how about you give that $13 to $14 to me? I could use that way better. I will make that sacrifice for you.
Then Perp will watch the movie and he will tell you about it.
Yes.
Or he'll get a Popeye's chicken sandwich, or like go anywhere else instead of seeing a terrible movie.
That is the third racist thing I've heard on this.
Didn't you just mention it? Didn't you just mention you would want to go there like a second ago?
No, I didn't say nothing about that.
If Perp is getting a chicken sandwich, he is going to Wendy's.
Oh, you mentioned that. Okay,
no,
my bad.
I'm going to go make a chicken sandwich my goddamn self. Nobody white.
I'm sorry. I thought you'd said it.
Perp, I'm sorry for all these racist white people. I apologize.
Perp, I'm gonna go rewatch Black Panther and just cleanse myself of my hatred.
No. Go watch Roots.
Oh, Roots is really good. I like LeVar Burton.
And
What? Reading
as you can
Rainbow was
see,
my shit as a kid. What is-
Terrible.
oh my,
Dude, that's a
as you
great
guys can
show.
see,
Be
for
right back.
2020, here in the fandom zone, we are keeping it politically correct.
Absolutely, and we'll never stop.
But here's the thing, and we've talked about it a lot here, but it's been a big highlight. The thing we've missed, on a serious note, people, the thing that has been being sacrificed these days is conversation. Now, in all seriousness, we've always had a diverse panel on this channel, and we all have differing opinions. We all have different backgrounds. But at the end of the day, we're not sitting here kissing each other's asses or making each other feel good because of our gender or our race or whatever. If we have something to say about one another, we say it. And at the end of the day, none of us fight or say "fuck you guys." Perp doesn't say, "Oh, you
No, we
bunch of
say
ladies," and
fuck
just
everyone
leaves.
else that's being assholes out there.
Yeah, exactly. And it's proven one thing is that people don't want to talk. Like, people want to take up the good fight, right? They want to say that they're doing this for women and stuff like that. But what are they actually doing? Are they actually talking with the women? Are they asking women if they want to be defended? I mean, think about something funny. Hollywood wants us to go back to the days where, we had protection over women, and they wore, long dresses as to not be so tempting and blah blah blah. This was 19th century shit, and it feels like to me Hollywood is trying to go back to that, like Little Prairie days. It's like, you realize women fought to dress the way they want to dress, to say what they want to say, and you guys taking this moral stand is setting a cause that women fought themselves backwards.
No, the
Because,
women didn't do that. It was the male feminists that did it for them.
oh, I'm sorry, the white knights. I
Yeah,
forgot
because
about the
because
white.
women are
How can I
incapable,
forget?
clearly, of speaking up for themselves, as we
Yeah,
assume. Yeah,
And
I mean,
clearly.
my
That's why we
eardrums
need.
would tell me differently, but I agree.
I mean,
I feel so sorry for my minority friends, is what I have heard these male feminists refer to them as. For the women
Oh my
and
God.
my minority friends.
I
But
mean,
I,
you
as a
must
white
hear
male,
all
will be
kinds of wacky
fine.
shit like that on almost a daily basis out there, at
Oh
least
yeah.
when you're on the West Coast.
Oh no, I mean this was more in college. They were worse.
Oh,
They were significantly
oh, I
worse.
suppose.
Yeah,
and
there was even like a little section of us that were just like, we like, is this normal? No. We didn't feel like speaking up about it because, like, I don't know, we didn't want to start an argument with everybody at the bar. So
and that's, proper. That's a great story to bring up. A point is that you can't we can sit here and bullshit with each other on YouTube, right? I can have my subscribers come in here. We've had crazy chats. You guys all know we've had some crazy chats going off while we're talking about a subject, right? But people are having fun. They're expressing their opinions. And for the most part, try not to censor anyone on this channel, because you should be able to express your opinion. And it's sad that you have to go to the fucking internet to talk to people you don't even know in order to have a conversation. But try to say the same shit we say every night in public. We would be looked at like we're committing some kind of sin for saying shit that people are thinking. They're thinking it. They just don't have the balls to say it out loud, because there's this big stigma and
No,
everyone gets
because
so
they got
mad.
them chemically castrated or physically castrated or something wacky like that in, today's society.
Yeah, it's like it's like the conversation has left the public forum now. It's like it used to be. Remember, we all, well, some of us remember the 90s, right? And how certain things used to be taboo, but there felt like you could talk about anything with your friends. Now, fast forward a little bit, and we're in an era where supposedly these fucking wackos are talking about safe spaces. You ever have try to have a conversation in a safe space? It's not very safe. I mean, the definition itself
No,
is an
usually
oxymoron.
whenever I see a sign that's like a safe space or something like that, if I were to go over there and have a conversation, I would probably be asked to leave immediately.
And that's the irony of it. And you know what? Why does why does there have to be safety in conversation? 2019 has built this thing like everyone is this glass figurine, and if you say the wrong thing, they're gonna shatter. Well, you know what? Remember natural selection? Maybe those motherfuckers need to shatter. This world is a cold, cruel, and calculated place. If you can't take criticism from someone you don't know, right? You're just walking on. People who live in New York, let me tell you something. I got called an asshole daily. Sometimes I didn't deserve it. It was just like, you're a fucking asshole. I'm like,
Sometimes?
hey, good morning to you. Yes, proper. There was very few times in
Were there
life
were
I
there
didn't.
times though? Were there
Okay, some people didn't. You douchebag. Anyways, there.
don't tell me you didn't anticipate that.
I did, but I mean, there were times though where you could, people would just say what's on their mind, and now you got these people that are being bred, and you've said it, Berkeley and all these places, right? They're being bred into this false thing that the world is this place of puppies and kittens. Tell your boss that you're in a safe space. Who here goes to work and you go, point of personal privilege. I don't want to do the bathroom today because there's shit in it. I might get my kicks dirty. Can I have someone else do it? Or oh,
That's
it's
like a
too loud. Can
germaphobe.
we tone it down?
Did he say he didn't want to do the bathroom? Is that what you
Yes,
said?
yes,
To do
yes,
the
I did.
bathroom or do it in the bathroom?
No, he said do the bathroom as in have relations with a room.
I think that usually means clean.
No,
The
I'm going to
bathroom.
misinterpret this for comedic value.
Okay.
So, I mean,
I'm waiting.
so what I'm saying is that we're raising these new kids, and I mean, I've seen it in my daughter's school, even in the schools, right, where they're teaching all of these things, and it's got no bearing on real life. They stopped teaching civics for gender studies. Just think about that. Civics, the art of talking to people and being civil in society, and the just the common things for gender study, the fucking gender study. Which one is going to benefit you more? I'm just curious. Anyone
I
got an
mean,
answer?
I suppose if you were at college, the first year they offer that, you take it as a man and you get in there with a bunch of women, except that's what all the men were thinking. And then it was just a class full of men. And then you're like, well, fuck, I didn't plan on being in here. And then you didn't go to that class. And then you ended up getting an F. So then you failed one class and you had to go for an extra semester. So yeah, it didn't work out for anybody involved in it.
No, not at all. I mean, proper. Let me ask you something. Which one do you think is more beneficial? Civics or gender studies?
He's muted
Oh, well, shit. Way to leave me hanging,
because
proper.
apparently it's still Christmas time in his colorful world. Like, apparently it's still Christmas time in your Kryptonian world, too. I'm the only person here that took off my freaking Christmas hat.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I changed my lightsaber and everything. Because the movie
yeah,
pissed me off. I was like, some bitch, I had a purple lightsaber, now it's red. Because that's how lightsabers work nowadays. At least that's what I'm told.
oh, your
Fucking Star
feelings bled
Wars.
into the
Sorry.
crystal.
It
But yeah, I
changes
mean,
based on your emotions.
and that's the thing, it's all been conditioning this year. We have really been losing. I think the biggest thing in 2019 that I feel we've been losing the ability to be able to talk to each other unless we're on a social platform of some kind. And then it's just amazing. We don't have a filter for that either. So you either go on one extreme or the other. You see Twitter. I mean, how many stupid fucking things do people retweet back? I mean, there's
It's a
probably
lot.
people retweeting back stupid stuff as we're talking right now.
Oh,
Like,
constantly. I mean, I don't know how many millions of people are on Twitter, but it's a lot. Like it's a lot. Like I don't know how many things that any of us on an individual day see on Twitter because I'm not like constantly on it or anything like that. I check it a couple of times a day and I don't even make it to the home page that often. Sometimes it's just looking through my own stuff, through my own notifications, and sometimes that will lead me to somebody else's tweet. But beyond that, I'm not looking and scrolling through the home page of Twitter. There's all kinds of crazy stuff on there. I rarely look at the trending. There's all kinds of crazy stuff on there. And the people that will respond to it or retweet it saying, look how right I was. And I was like, no, look how fucking crazy you are that you think that this thing on the internet makes you correct in your
it's
safe space.
amazing. It is. It's amazing because these people they are scared of saying this shit out loud because if they do, a normal thinking person will clock them in the face. But then they get on Twitter and it's just like these people are antagonistic and just say horrendous things. And we've seen conversation flip to going from being something that used to be interactive. You sit down and you bullshit, and maybe we all remember those Christmases or Thanksgivings where you have the crazy uncles that fight politics, and those would go fun days. And that was like entertainment if there wasn't a game on. Just watch your
Yep.
Democratic and
Who's
Republican
yelling at
uncles go
who
at
this Christmas?
it. Yeah, you used to plan it and be like, well, I gotta clear my schedule. Uncle Joe, the Democrats coming, and the Republicans of the family
Exactly.
are just gonna be up in
There's
arms.
gonna be a throwdown in the kitchen.
And here's the beautiful part, though, PV. Every year, you'd go back and you'd do it next year because they fight and they'd say nasty shit. But at the end of the day, they'd be like, that was fun. Everyone get drunk, forget about it, and,
Well, not
you do it
anymore.
again.
Not anymore.
No.
Now your friends in that safe space will tell you that, well, don't go back and spend any time with your family if they think like that. They're the magic word toxic.
Toxic. Oh, that brings me to the 2019 buzzwords. This year has been the year for just words that used to have meaning. All of these words, people that you hear bounced around, or everyone who joins or who will join, or who's still in here, these buzzwords have they used to mean something. They used to have gravity to when you said them, and now the words are becoming desensitized
Now
because
they
they're
have
being used.
anti-gravity.
They have anti-gravity, exactly, PB. They are becoming uh, they're losing their power. Words used to have power to them. When you were pissed off and you said something that was fucked up, it used to mean something. Now say it. It'd be like, oh, well, you're just being toxic. And it's just like, because the words don't have weight to them anymore. They're
That's
just being flung
also,
around.
well, it's also probably because you didn't have the internet. You didn't have all the fucked up people uh, coming all together in one place, where they have their little secret group chats and meetings. Like, hey guys, how do we make like who are we gonna get fired today? Who do we go after? Which celebrity do we have to cancel?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm jumping around, but 2019, we've had these
J.J.
buzzwords.
Abrams
We've
is
had
over party. That was my favorite.
That was your favorite one?
Oh yeah, it was great because all the other ones I'm like, who is this random person that I don't know. Who's this Instagram influencer? I don't know what your it's just the stupidest thing I've ever heard. They've even taken away the word influencer or influence. They've taken that away.
Like, who are you influencing?
Yeah, people to take selfies in the bathroom.
Exactly. Or to you're influencing them to lick ice cream.
Speaking of which, Perp, what do you think
God
about
damn it.
where what do you think
What
about
is up with these terrible transitions?
What about me? What more
He's
racist?
equating you to the ice cream licker now.
What?
I like ice cream. Basic, so you know.
Yeah, vanilla is too boring.
I know a few
like,
basic.
I even prefer. I mean, I would prefer butter pecan because at least there's something in it, even though I hate it.
That's you sound like a butter pecan type person.
No, my grandpa is and my mom is, but I am not. I like the black raspberry chip. It's my favorite.
That's weird.
It's great.
The grandpa in the video?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
okay, ask the question,
let me
Zod.
ask you, what do you think
There's
about
a question. Oh, sorry.
Yes. What do you think about the devaluing of words today? How this culture has started to devalue the meaning of these different words, and you know what I mean, buzzwords and things like that have just been rampant, and it's destroying conversation because things that used to have meaning don't have meaning anymore. And we named a few, but what to you lost its meaning?
Woke.
I knew you were going to say that.
That is the worst. That is literally the worst term for anything now of this decade.
Or the last one, I guess. That's going to take a little getting used to.
What should we use woke for now? Nothing? Just get rid of it?
No.
Yeah, just get rid of it.
No, past tense of wake. I woke up this morning. There we go.
Okay, so that is
You have risen.
I'm okay with that.
You have risen.
Yes.
He's like, no. Just completely get rid of the word. We're never going to say woke again. We don't want to get confused. Although they're going to start spelling woke, W-O-C.
Loss?
No.
I'd rather them use the term woke and just replace the O with a U. Just
woo.
Wook.
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 Wook Skywalker.
Wook Skywalker.
The fuck?
That's fantastic.
Wook Skywalker.
This has destroyed. I mean, I feel like everything that we have been encountered has destroyed just the ability to have a conversation face to face. Like everything that's been being set up by these risen people.
I like that. I like that.
I like it. That's a good one, Perp. Yeah.
It has been.
They could be like zombies.
Yeah, these walkers have been, designing it so that we can't have normal conversation. It's all becoming, web-based conversation. I mean, it used to be people used to actually, yes, I'm in the basement. People used to come downstairs and be like, hey, get your ass up here for dinner. Now we're texting. I still get the get your ass up here for dinner, but now it's in all caps with, the exclamation point.
It's not your basement. It's your evil lair.
Hey, every good villain has an evil lair. This is mine. Thank you.
Every villain is lemons.
What?
Every.
I got that. I got that.
Let me type it out for you.
Okay.
Every villain is
SpongeBob.
lemons.
You gotta have the
Gotcha.
little lemons guy on there
Mhm.
too.
Otherwise
What the
known
fuck?
as evil. I mean, oh wait, oh wait, yeah, it is. Okay, good. I got it right. I'm so proud of myself. So proud.
So 2019 has seen a destruction of conversation, at least in my mind. And for 2020, I mean, I'm not saying, internet
You
has
want
been a
to
double-edged sword.
rebuild conversation?
I want to rebuild conversation. It's part of my evil plan.
Okay, first you need to learn to read.
I'm gonna have a
We're getting
I'm
really
gonna have a
Sorry, I
Rocky
couldn't help
montage.
myself.
I
I'm gonna
was
have a
elected
Rocky
to
montage,
lead,
but it's just gonna
not
be
to read.
Yeah. That's what we got him here for, proper. That's exactly right. He's here to lead, not to read.
Number 3.
So what? Oh, jeez. So, guys, for 2020, what are you looking for as far as going forward with the way that the conversations have been going? Would you guys like to see more interactive conversation as opposed to
I,
these media wars we go
What do you
through?
mean interactive conversation? Like the
I
interactive conversation that you do on Pornhub? You sick fuck? No.
I personally just want more money. I don't care about no else.
That's fair.
I
More
want to
money
be
will
able
be.
to.
I will talk to more people if I get more money.
I honestly just want to go to the movies now. Just buy a ticket for whatever, a matinee show for $5 and just have some popcorn and enjoy it now. I don't want to have to think about like, oh, what movie's going to ruin my childhood this week. It's not fair. Just make them good, please. That's all. That's all we ask. Make it good. Make it entertaining.
So
Dance.
movies here.
Like, yeah, like just I don't know. It's
Like, leave stuff out of the movie instead of adding more stuff to it to make it more convoluted. Because if you leave a bunch of threads out there, people can say, well, it might have been this, it might have been that, instead of giving you the answer, and we can look at it and say, well, no, that's stupid.
that's
Yeah,
fun.
and the thing is, movies. I've been watching some of the old like '90s movies and things like that, or '80s and things like that. And you remember, first off, my biggest problem with movies now is run times. Why does everything have to be fucking 2 hours? What? When did the runtime officially change for a movie to 2 hours? What happened to the good old
I don't.
hour and 48 minutes, hour and a half?
Oh
I'm
Who
not.
told the
no,
story?
more
I don't.
plot.
I
It's
don't. I
so
don't mean.
terrible.
I don't mind like 2 hour plus movies because it's like you're spending so much money on it in the first place. I'd rather just be in there for like 2 3 hours.
Yeah, if I'm
I
gonna,
mean,
that's why Lord of the Rings was the biggest bang for your buck. You got like
Because
a
if
did
three
you
and a
guys
half
see the
hour epic.
series finale of Game of Thrones? Every movie has to be that long because there has to be ample time for walking.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted in Lord of the Rings, even though I got it anyways, and in The Hobbit. There was a lot of
Walking.
walking. There's a
A
lot of
lot of walking.
walking. There was like 5
The
minutes
fucking
of
trees walk.
Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli running and being like, "Oh, I'm tired and I'm small." Ha ha. You have
Yep.
all of that crap. You made up for it with having awesome sequences, and it made it good. I liked it.
Exactly. That's the point. They made up for it with the other side of the coin, whereas The other side of the coin in other movies was either boring or stupid or full of identity politics.
That's not like the best choices.
Those are terrible
But
choices.
but see, that's the problem with this format. They're leaving themselves too much open for that. So it doesn't feel like they're using the format to pack it with more action or cool shit that we want to see. They're like, oh, we can't get this messaging in this amount of time. We've got to extend the fucker. Except
Well, I
for
mean,
That's what
okay,
she
Black
said.
Christmas,
they didn't
they passed.
they didn't extend what movie was it? Dark Phoenix.
Oh, Dark Phoenix though
That's the
wasn't.
hour
It wasn't
45.
even politics. It
That's
wasn't
an
even
hour
politics in that.
45
That
too
was just
long.
bad writing. Okay, that was a good example of the short format. Just ah, and
I
Black
mean
Christmas.
that,
You know,
and even
I
inside
saw
of
that
that
movie.
hour 45, there's still plenty of time for there to be lulls. So, yeah, I can see how there are movies out there, but I would lean towards what Perp is saying. People want to get more bang for their buck when you're paying double-digit prices because you're not going on a Tuesday afternoon all the time because you usually can't make it to the movies on a Tuesday afternoon because typical people are working the 9 to 5, so they can't go then. They want to be able to sit through 2 hours, 2.5 hours, so that they get the, $10, $12 out of their ticket.
Yeah, but look at it though back in the early days when the places we went to go to the theaters had more to offer though, right? You could hang out with your friends. Like a lot of theaters used to be in malls. You can go shop in the mall before the movie, shop after the movie, hang out with your friends after. I mean, that has been cut out. But theaters today are so nice looking. There's so much to do. Fuck, you can drink in the theater. I mean,
Woohoo!
there's so much yeah, there's so much you can do, even if you cut the time to where you're still getting your money's worth, even if the film isn't that long. And that's the whole problem that we've seen with the 2019 culture is the disconnect with just the experience. The
Well,
experience
that's
is
because
what's been
everyone's so
missing.
busy on their phone looking at the movie that was leaked on Twitter.
Yep. Oh god. Or you got the it looks like a fucking concert when you're in the theater. It's like, why'd you pay $10 so that I can see your phones held in the air like lighters? So it's like
In a movie
throughout the whole
theater?
movie.
What the hell kind of audiences do you have?
They're everywhere,
Terrible ones
Popper.
from the sound of it.
You can't tell
Need
me
all-
you haven't been in the theater with people looking at their phones while the movie is going
No,
on.
because I sit in the front.
Oh, the last movie I sat in the front row for was Jurassic Park 3. That was a mistake.
He
Alan,
wanted to be immersed.
Alan, Alan.
You know
Yeah.
what? I saw Jurassic Park re-released on the big screen again. It was still as magical as the first time that it came out. Like
Dude,
that
this is
is
if
what I'm
you
talking.
keep saying Jurassic Park, we're gonna go on a serious tangent.
Why is that funny to you?
Us
Yeah,
going on a
no,
serious tangent or Jurassic Park?
Oh no, him going on a serious tangent of Jurassic Park. Whatever the fuck Leaves just talking
Because
about.
he's an expert at going on tangents.
What the fuck's Zod?
Oh yeah.
Why Jurassic Park? Why? I ne-
It's a classic.
There's only one good movie in that series. Okay, two.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Two.
whoa, whoa. Hold on now. You mean to say like great/epic good movie, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah,
makes up
I
for.
really think I'm really starting to think that proper is like Canadian, like low key.
Nah, definitely not Canadian.
He's in a he came from a border state.
It's not a border state because
100% a border state.
no, it's
You're
not.
on a lake. That's a border.
No,
Talk
no,
about tangents.
no. We are separated by a lake. We do not
Yeah,
border it.
that's the border, guy.
Yeah, what do we do? What are we gonna do? Like paddle in our canoes and go up?
Your boosters.
We're gonna
Yes, in your
invade
canoes
Canada.
that you appropriated from Elizabeth Warren.
We appropriated from never mind. I can't go there.
All right.
We have
That's all right.
Mhm.
2020, I'm looking to just see how far I can push the restrictions of YouTube.
Oops.
Hey, isn't
so
that
far in the first portion?
Isn't that Copa thing starting already? I completely forgot about that.
Wait,
do you
Tommy, what are
mean?
you talking about? What tag? What is he talking about? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
The Copa thing, yeah. So that's been a big thing too. So I guess we had to have covered it finally here in the fandom zone because I haven't really been worried or cared. But yeah, the Copa thing is in full swing, and you know, what do you guys think about?
What do you mean
that?
it's in full swing? It wasn't in full swing last week?
No.
Well, no, it. No, I just
They
got
made it
the
official
thing saying
January 1st.
Yeah, I had gotten the
So if
thing
I
saying-
haven't gone back and marked all of my videos as not for children, they're gonna ban me from YouTube?
Yeah.
Maybe.
IPB.
Okay.
Hashtag PB is over party.
Right?
all you have to do is go in your settings and mark your whole channel, just not for children. You should be alright.
Motherfuckers adding steps to my life.
But yeah, that's been a big thing, and this push is not actually helping the audience they're claiming to help. Like, okay, 2019 for YouTube, boy, that's been a fucking right. So when I first started this channel, I could live stream from my cell phone. We all remember that.
No.
It was
Go to live
yesterday.
stream.
It was like last year, yo.
You guys
It was
don't
crazy.
remember when General Zod, formerly known as something else, live streamed from his phone?
No.
Oh my God.
Oh
It
wait.
was a totally different experience. Wow.
Oh yeah.
Rhymes with peephole.
Like, go back to the beginning and watch one of those at the 1.5 speed. You'll get a kick out of it.
So good
It's
old
just
days.
him talking to a camera and me yelling at him in the chat.
In the chat. I love how you added in the chat. You were the only one watching.
That's correct.
Yeah, those were the 2 or 3 people. Whoever was up, I do a.
He's like,
stream
I'm out of the
after-
movie theater. I'm doing a review for the next hour and a half. The movie was an hour and a half.
How enlightening.
Oh, those were great streams. And then one day I went to do it, and it said your device cannot live stream. I said, "What the fuck is
They
going
said,
on?"
fuck you, you're not allowed to do this anymore, Zod. You have to have 1,000 subs. Ha ha.
Yep. So,
But joke's on them because a lot of people found loopholes around that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of pointless.
I did not. I had to actually go and get 1,000 subscribers.
Hey, as long as you got to show off your tits, you know.
Well, about that.
Yeah, so you know what? We're gonna start off the new year right. We're just gonna get controversial here for tonight because we are talking about bullshit of 2019. And God, I'm already gonna probably be shut down after this stream. So let's talk about the rise of the females wondering.
The rise
I'm
of
sorry.
what?
The rise of
Right.
females on YouTube being able to surpass.
You mean the rise of thoughts?
You said it.
Yes, I did.
I mean,
I mean,
The rise of
man,
bitches trying to get attention? Like, how do you want me to say this?
this is the generation we're living in. This is like the Me Too era. So like everybody out here, you know what I'm saying? All these females are coming together and be like, yeah, we can make money off this and yada yada yada, blah blah blah.
and the
You know what I'm saying?
and look, I'm not downplaying anyone who's worked hard. I know a couple of people who have worked hard for
Shouts
their
to the real
spot,
ones.
but anyone who can sit here and tell me you didn't get your base because of your looks, you're full of shit. I was just gonna say that right now because no one wants to see my ugly ass on camera. Okay,
If
I'm
if
just
I
gonna keep it 100.
if I were to just go on camera with lipstick, I would look foolish. Not only would that be a bad look for me as a black man, I'd probably have to kill my YouTube channel. I could never go back. I could never look back.
Did your family know you run a YouTube channel? Absolutely not.
Like, what if that was my gimmick? Like, you think that shit would work? No.
I mean, it works for some black dudes and some white dudes.
I ain't know Jeffree Star, whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah.
He's no RuPaul.
I couldn't pull it off.
Hey, we got rid of the general. Finally, we can have a real conversation on his channel and push the limits for real.
The 3 white avatars.
Right? Like, you have the blackest voice and you might have the whitest avatar.
I think it's the purplest.
It's definitely the purplest. Well, it's got to fit his channel. Like, his entire channel is purple. It's wonderful.
Yes, it's very
Damn it, he's
colorful.
back. You didn't
It's
even give us time to fuck around with your channel. But we did say a
Right.
bunch of racist stuff while you were gone. We're all Nazis.
Thank you.
So, speak for yourself.
The word doesn't mean anything, Justin.
Yeah, it's been devalued now.
That's another one of them words that doesn't mean anything anymore.
So here's the thing now. There's been this thing where
oh my god,
there's been an uptick of these people saying, oh my goodness, I want to be taken seriously, but they're trying to say, oh, my looks aren't the reason why my channel's booming, but yet what they're choosing to
Yeah,
wear
we
when
know
they're
why
streaming
Zod
is
watches Mandy
contradicting.
Summers.
Hey,
who's
there's
she?
some quality programming on there.
She's some girl that talks about comics.
Indiegogo.
Oh,
I
wait, she is
support some of them.
the Texas lady.
Yes.
Sure.
Wait,
She
or
has-
She was from
she has
Alabama.
very-
I don't know where she's from. Like,
she's
saying
from
where
Alabama.
she's from is not.
oh,
Sure.
oops. Oh, by the way, Zod, I have a couple memes to show you if you would be interested.
Well, on my screen, they're like micro-sized. I can't.
Okay. How about this?
Ah,
What do you think?
Oh, Arthur.
Might make you feel a little better.
You get me every time. Ooh. You don't like the sequel movies because the main character is female?
Is that what's her face?
Princess Leia?
Which one?
Above Princess Leia? Is that what's her
Padme?
face? Yeah.
Padme? Yeah.
Why
Yes,
is it like
Clone
that?
Wars
She's
Padme.
the only one. She's the only one in the Clone Wars that looks like her character. Like,
I don't know.
What do you mean?
Well, Anakin looks like his character.
no, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
No,
You
he doesn't.
think she looks like her character more than anybody else does?
Yes.
I don't know. It's kind of pixelated and
Shenanigans.
'cause Obi-Wan
Akbar
definitely
looks
doesn't look
exactly like his character.
Because Obi-Wan's character definitely doesn't look like what's his name, Ian McGregor and shit.
nah. There's this.
Biggest asshole in cinema history.
Darth Vader.
Jenny.
Jenny, she does suck. But this is my favorite. I'm Peter, by the way.
I'm Peter, by the way.
I'm Ray Skywalker. Oh, we're using our made-up
Using our made-up names.
Her last name is Minded, so you know.
Ray-minded.
Yeah.
Mm.
I might change my channel name to that. See if I can get more clicks.
Ray-minded, and just
Or
have
make it separate. I could make a separate channel and just be like Ray Minded and just be like
I have
follow
the
the Ray.
perfect avatar for you.
The color will have to be yellow, though. That's the color of her saber, man.
all my thumbnails will be bright ass yellow and shit. Can't even see all the fucking words.
Sorry. Spoiler alert.
Like anyone cares, but I mean,
Oh
People
my
had
god!
People had spoilers 3 months ago. They were spoiling the fuck out of it.
I was not told that she got a freaking yellow lightsaber at the end of the movie. That was not in any leak that I ever read or heard anywhere on the internet.
Don't matter.
All right.
Did you hear that anywhere, Justin?
Yeah, I knew she had a yellow.
Where?
lightsaber. It was on my Twitter feed.
You put it on your Twitter feed before the movie came out?
No, I saw it on my Twitter feed before the movie came out.
Oh.
yeah, and that was the thing too. That was pretty. We should talk about that too. In 2019, this was the worst kept movie in the history, I think, of movies being kept secret. I mean,
oh, I thought
this
you
thing-
just said it was worth. It was the worst kept. Like they should have put it back in the vaults, back into the Disney vaults.
Hey, just to let you know, I'm gonna spoil the fuck out of Black Widow for you.
No,
Hey, I didn't spoil anything for you. What are you talking about? I was the person that was always
I don't
like,
care.
hey.
I'm going to be that person that's that ruins everything for everybody.
Perp didn't see. Perp don't want to hear spoilers. Everyone shut up.
oh, Perp, check your Twitter DMs. I have some suggestions, and perhaps they could share it with you. You could share it with them.
Hold on.
Suggestions
for the Ray-minded.
Oh God.
I gotta switch to my other shit.
So, we've had terrible spoilers, and I am not a fan of this movie, but
Hilarious.
I've
seen this one. My fault.
I think that this sets a bad precedent, because this is saying, if we start spoiling movies that we don't like, okay, for a franchise that's been going downhill, that that's regardless. This is to say now you could do this with every movie, which I mean isn't fair to the movie-going experience, whether it's good or a bad film. I think that people should be able to make their own choice. And look, me and Perp talked about this before, and Perp, you said it's nothing new having spoilers out there. But what they did for this movie was so disrespectful to people who actually legitimately wanted to see the movie. And it doesn't matter what movie it is. I mean, I don't like the trend of, the putting the spoilers up. I think that, if you want to be spoiled, that's why we do our reviews. You want to see a non-spoiler review, a spoiler review, they're up there and they're posted, and you enter at your own risk.
No, you're absolutely right. 100% right.
That's a great picture. Who is that handsome bastard?
Soy Cole.
Yeah, I gotta get him out.
He looks evil.
I ain't gray in his beard. You stressed out, son?
He was stressed out there.
I was ranting about Captain Marvel on that one. I very That was either Captain Marvel or the stupid article I read on how Darth Vader is racist.
He's
You
racist.
said it seems like it aged you like 10 years.
It did.
That rant.
He's got like it's
You know, my hair before I started my channel, my hair was jet black, and now it's going gray.
Perp, don't worry. You won't be able to spoil Black Widow. She dies.
She dies at the end.
If you,
Well, I was just wondering, sitting here thinking about it. I was like, well, what if the movie
But what?
starts off with the scene of them in Endgame and she's falling to her death, and then it
You-
goes 10 years earlier?
I'm gonna
Oh.
throw a curveball at y'all, right? Would you call this bullshit, or would you be okay with this? What if it comes to find? What if we come out to find out that the whole time Natasha's been a Skrull?
that Natasha.
I mean, I didn't realize I was that attracted
fuck.
to aliens.
Wait, no. At the end,
Yeah, like they switched out, like the real Natasha somewhere else.
because she knew, like, okay, I'm gonna actually have to die, but he has to know. He has to feel that. Well, would the scroll have been able to do that? I guess.
But no, because when they
To
get
retrieve the
seriously
Soul Stone.
I mean, when they get seriously injured, though, they revert back to what they look like. But when they did that shot, she had blood coming from her head, like human blood. Like they don't bleed human blood.
Hey,
either.
I'm just
Like,
saying,
you
don't be
guys saw that
surprised.
scene?
Don't be surprised if they just completely retcon it and just be like, "Hey, you remember in Endgame when she killed herself? That wasn't the real Natasha. Where she's coming back. We're gonna make a whole trilogy out of her shit."
That would
Just
be
basically-
fucked up. It's like, that's taking away the sacrifice, taking away the impact. Endgame
It
is
would be the
Endgame.
first time Disney took away a sacrifice, supposedly.
What do you mean, supposedly, Perp?
Supposedly, Rise of Skywalker ruined Anakin's sacrifice.
Oh, that's
I
because
did.
it did.
Well, here's an argument that could be made. It doesn't take away from his actions and what he did, because what he did was still the right thing, and he still brought balance, and he,
Saved the sun.
and yeah,
Well, I
he saved
mean-
the son. He saved his son, and
No, that's all he did.
And he brought peace to the galaxy for a couple decades. I mean, what were
No,
they
he
going to
didn't.
sing
No,
There was no peace in
Kumbaya?
the galaxy. What are you
Come on,
talking
were they
about? What
really?
peace?
Was the whole galaxy going to sing Kumbaya and hold hands
Right,
for
somebody's
the
gotta
rest
stare
of
the pot.
eternity?
Everybody
No.
starts to
No.
like, you know what I'm saying?
No, I heard the best theory, and it's the most correct now that I think about it. And it was stated by Doomcock. Palpatine won. That's Disney's take on it.
Yeah.
Palpatine won. He beat Luke. The heroes never won, because what is Rey? Rey can change her fucking name to Skywalker, even though she has no bloodline or whatever. But that's besides the point. But she's called Rey Palpatine. If Rey Palpatine beat the Emperor, she's still a Palpatine, so Palpatine still won. Just like the only person who technically has a bloodline to Jedi, which was Kylo, sacrificed himself and died. So actually, the good guys' bloodlines died out. So Palpatine won. There was never a victory for the good guys ever, if you include this trilogy. The whole takeaway is, after all of this, the bad guys win. Because
my whole
Rey
thing
is
is-
the last Jedi, and he destroyed everything.
My whole thing is like, the Skywalkers are still like that chosen race. Every single Skywalker up to this point has made that ultimate sacrifice for the next generation. So, you know what I'm saying? You had Anakin make his sacrifice so Luke could go do his thing. Then Luke had to make his sacrifice so, it would inspire other Jedi, and Kylo had to make his sacrifice to, bring back Rey so she could go do her
Kylo
thing.
didn't make a sacrifice. Rey murdered him.
I'm
Not
saying,
at
like-
the end.
Yeah.
He killed himself.
I'm saying like, because since
Piss
she
posh.
she brought him back. He owed her one.
Yeah, but why wasn't Ray like kind of injured?
She had some raspberry on.
She had a raspberry on.
It's all
Dude,
good.
No,
When
but
you're
the-
per-
she
when you're
succubused
perfect,
him.
it's okay. So when you're perfect,
She
it's okay.
succubused him.
And she started
But the
running afterwards.
And that
She's
whole kiss,
evil.
I feel like everybody's blowing that kiss out to like, I never got the sense like, oh, they're trying to be a couple. It's just no, it's just one of those, oh, thank you, kisses, goodbye.
Yeah, that's how you
Not like that.
succubus somebody.
Not like that.
Nah,
What do you mean not like that?
That wasn't.
We ain't never seen a
that wasn't a
succubus in the Star Wars galaxy before.
Oh my god.
No, the whole point is, I think that Doomcock had a better analysis of it.
Yeah.
If you really take into what George made as opposed to what Disney is saying, Disney saw the trilogy basically as the good guys lost, the bad guys won, a Palpatine won. What would have made more sense if she wanted to give a big fuck you and have some kind of meaning is not take the name of Skywalker and take the name of Palpatine.
I mean, why would you
Because-
take the name of Palpatine? So you could have the whole you could have some Harry Potter shit happen to you. Everybody's like, oh, you're evil. You're the reason why, like, shit's all
Yeah.
fucked up.
But what?
And she
But
has to
what's
live her
the-
life in
what-
shame
But that's
forever.
what I think that'd be interesting if they wanted to continue Rey's story. You could have people out there that don't fuck with that. They'd be like, all right, I don't really like that she's using his name, using the Skywalker name, even though I know what that means. You could have some certain people you could have just people be obsessed with her because she's a Palpatine now and shit. And
No, but
you can do some interesting
what I'm
stuff.
saying is,
The whole point
It
to
would
keep
have
the
been-
Palpatine name is that nobody is irredeemable.
Except for
my
Palpatine.
point of keeping. No, my point to keeping it.
No,
was,
that's
what
the
did
whole
Sam
point,
do?
is that no matter who you are, where you come from, anybody can be redeemed. That's the whole point of keeping the Palpatine name. I mean, they were already
Yep.
doing the whole thing about, well, anybody can have the Force, nobody's special.
Except all the other
Exactly.
non-Force using characters.
And the other point is that Palpatine was the ultimate symbol of evil, right? Everything he did was for his own personal goals. So to have a relation of him, bring balance to the Force, and be ultimately the ultimate good, if we're going with I am every Jedi or every Jedi's in me, which is kind of gross. But I mean, if you take into the fact the biggest fuck you to Palpatine would be keeping his name and then doing good acts with his
Or
name.
the
As
biggest-
PB said, redeeming the name.
or the biggest fuck you is what they did in the movie is like she was holding Anakin's lightsaber and Leia's lightsaber, being a Palpatine. He was like, you're supposed to be on my side.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That's the ultimate anime betrayal right there.
it's because see, everything that they did botched what could have been some great symbolism. Even if they were running with well, anyone can be redeemed. Well, then keep the name, because like you were saying, PB, it proves that it doesn't matter what your name is, it's the character of the person that has a
And I
deeper
think
meaning.
that's why I think
That's
I think that's why she took the Skywalker name, because she doesn't relate to a Palpatine. She relates more with
No. She took that name because she's nobody and wants to be somebody. Like, people know the Skywalker name. I can do that. They know that the Skywalkers are good people. I want to be a good person. They know that the Palpatine name is bad. I don't want to be associated with that. Talk about the ultimate opportunist.
It's like
Not to mention,
Zod.
too,
And it's like there's this one YouTuber that like I watch. He's like he kind of was going on the opposite point. Like it's like watching Hitler's kid take out Hitler, kind of like, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, is he
But
supposed to change his name then?
Hmm. No, I was just I fucking had a little brain fart. But imagine if you had the last name Hitler, wouldn't you want to like kind of change your last name? You don't really want to be associated with that.
Not
There's
if I
people that
was
do
the
that in real
one
life.
who took him out. I'd be like, oh, well, here's this terrible guy with this terrible name, but I, having the same name, am the guy who took him out. So I'm this wonderful person. Don't you want your name to supersede his name in the book? Be like,
what,
my name can be the everlasting legacy. Instead of Sheev, it'll be Ray.
But some people still wouldn't see that, you know.
they can't get
They'll
that.
still see
You can't make up for all the losses, all the horror that people went through.
under
That
Palpatine.
never
Yeah.
goes away.
Then
Well,
if
I
you
meant,
can't
yeah,
ever
yeah.
make up
Well,
for that, then why does anybody ever ask for reparations?
So we'll never
because
get it.
You know,
they want
Because,
money, I guess. I don't know.
but see, here's
well,
the
it's
thing,
a
and
question.
it talks to what we've been talking about in 2019. This is an overall bigger message. There's there's this bullshit notion that Hollywood is trying to that they're saying they're trying to encourage you being yourself, right? What is this whole new trilogy supposed to be about? It's supposed to be all about being yourself, and anyone can do things, right? But then in their own movie,
Such a Disney
they're
message.
sending the opposite. They're saying the opposite. They're saying you can do anything, but you don't want this name, right? If you can do anything, if you can achieve anything, then let's be realistic about it. I'm the fourth Cole. Newsflash: the other three Coles haven't been the greatest people in the world at times, but I still keep the name, and I'm still proud of the name because of what I choose to do with my name. It's about my actions. And if they wanted to make a big impact, then they would say that it depends on the person. People are in charge of their own actions. They control their own destinies. They're responsible for their own motives. It's not your name that causes you to do bad things. It's what you choose to do with your choices. And Hollywood is not going towards that. And that's the problem in general with this 2019 thinking that we've had, is that no one is taking responsibility for their own actions. It's the media, it's the news outlets, it's Fox, it's Trump, it's this, it's that. No, fucker, you're the one saying stuff. You're the one who's spreading hateful, uh, nasty things, and then you're looking for a person to blame, and it's fostering the mentality of being a victim. It's it's saying it's okay to say this, this, and this because you're this group, or you're that group, or you're marginalized, or you're a woman, or you're a different race. And that's what we've been living in 2019, and it's translating the same to movies. They want to tell you they have these lofty, big, idealistic dreams that they want the world to be like, but they're not encouraging anything but putting yourself into a bubble. And that is the problem with the messaging behind it, because it still encourages you to just change who you are and everything's okay.
But
That
is the
was the
space
worst part of the
inside of the bubble safe?
movie. Exactly. Exactly. It's like Bite and Touch just said it kind of funny. I blame Zod for anything bad that happens. Thank you. I'm a villain. I actually want credit for bad things. Um but I mean, it's this whole, and that's a big thing that we saw on the rise. Swinging to the next topic of 2019, right? We've seen people being willing victims, and I say
Oh,
willing victims because they're
oh,
that word has changed. It used to be if you were walking across the street at night, let's just use New York as an example, and you're a dumbass and you're walking in Central Park and you get mugged. You're a victim of a mugging because you didn't foresee that coming. You didn't say, go and mug me. You just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. You're a victim. but people are choosing to become victims in this society. They're choosing to place themselves as victims from sources that had nothing to do with their current situation, right? They heard a Twitter and it hurt their feelings. And now they've been personally and emotionally impacted. Their mental psyche is breaking down because of all of the hatred that they see. And it's all the alt-right and white people and all and the way they're
White
treating
people are
women.
crazy.
It's so terrible. Yeah. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? How does this affect you? How, and I politics, we have to talk about politics because it's a big sense of contention. Oh, have a good night, proper. But look at what happened with Trump
Yeah,
as a
he had to
perfect
go,
example.
and you couldn't read in the private chat that he was leaving, and then you just plowed on to the next subject. But it's okay.
That's how we do in the fandom zone. But anyways, but Trump is a perfect example, right? How many people blamed their whole life, like when he won, it was like the apocalypse was happening. Like we were entering the zombie apocalypse, and people were like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna lose my job. My kids are gonna die."
But how quickly people forget that 3 presidents prior to him have done worse damage to this country, for being
Yes,
honest.
yes, yes,
It's hilarious.
and it's the new ideals now of people self-victimizing. There are, instead of having bad shit happen to them, and it just makes me think, you know what, when something real happens to them, when something really bad happens to them, these people are just gonna fall apart. If you can't handle a tweet, how are you gonna handle a death in the family or something serious? And it's been 2019 has been the rise of this stupid mentality of that, because someone says something and your feelings get hurt by it, all of a sudden you were victimized. No,
It's
you were
soft
called a name.
soy.
Soy sauce.
Yep.
It's like, you know, we've all probably dealt with people bullying us and things like that, and people saying
Nope. I beat
shit
up my
about us.
bullies.
Me too. But
I'll beat up my bullies and tell them, if you do it again, I'll stab you. If you try to do it again, I'm gonna kill you. 3 strikes, you out.
but see,
You gotta keep them in line.
Right. That's what I'm
but
saying. The whole
but
thing
Trump,
about bullying, like people just like, we need bullies in the world. Not like the assholes that like to beat up like retarded people and whatnot and shit like that. Like those people deserve to die and get kicked in the fucking nuts repeatedly. But I'm talking about just you know y y those type of people that
Yeah,
just
the
like pick on people
bullies
at
that
school.
build your character.
Pretty much, yeah. Thank you. That's pretty much what, like we need more of those type of bullies.
like, who
Yeah,
doesn't remember the high school experience? You always had the asshole. You had that one asshole. He equally distributed his hate. Maybe he had some shit going on at home 90% of the time, and he took it out on everyone else. But that made you stronger because it made you realize in this world you're gonna deal with assholes. They're everywhere. Your boss might be an asshole. You just can't go up and punch him in the face. You got to deal
you
with it.
can.
Guess what? I mean, you
I mean,
can,
you have an
but we
asshole
recommend
behind you constantly.
it. Exactly. And I mean, the point being is that you you learn to deal with your problems and to handle them head on. And
It's
now we
called
got to a
hemorrhoid
point,
cream.
exactly. And
That's
now
how
we've
you
gotten
deal
to
with
a
that
point,
problem.
now we've gotten to a point where now people are doing terrible things because of a tweet said to them. A fucking tweet. Just think of, because someone tweeted out something and now you're emotionally devastated because someone said race sucks. Your whole year is ruined.
It's just disrespectful when people say that shit. I feel some type of way. But I keep it moving.
That was the first time he punched a cop. He was like, "What the fuck,
He got
man?" And he's like, "Well, I was walking down the road and I was reading on my Twitter and I read Ray sucks and I was pissed. And you were standing there. You shouldn't have been standing there."
but you know, that's a great example though of like how people are thinking. It's just like they're carrying this shit into the real world and they're making themselves into being these victims. And 2019 has been the absolute worst for that. Like, honestly, guys, correct me if I'm wrong here. I know you will, PV, but can you remember a
You're
time
wrong.
where
Oh, you didn't say it yet.
do you remember a time where the shit was ever this bad?
Oh my gosh. I
Slavery.
mean, I was gonna say not while I was alive. That was gonna be that was gonna be exactly how I framed it. Because yeah, I'm sure there are points in history where it was worse, but
Civil
probably
rights.
those points in history, I would bet good money that the slaves in America, the slaves in Egypt, all of the slaves in all of human history weren't worried about getting their feelings hurt.
No,
Like,
because they
that
were
was
too
not
busy
their
getting
concern.
fucked up.
They were worried about getting physically hurt. I I feel like in the entire world today, not just America, the entire world, and I would think that it probably started in Europe, probably somewhere in the south of France in some fucking ridiculous vineyard or something, but I think people have forgotten the phrase sticks and stones. Like, what the fuck, man? Words will never hurt you.
Words
They
are
can
like
only
bullets.
build you up. No matter what people are saying to try and tear you down, they are still just words coming from a human. It's not like God is literally talking to you, letting you know, "Hey, guy, if you don't turn things around, you're going to hell." That's not what's happening. It's somebody on the internet that said something to you and you're like, "I can't deal with life. Oh no."
And it's so stupid because, you know, we are teaching these kids now that it is okay through these colleges and even in high
To be a
schools and
pussy.
things to be,
Yep.
yeah, perp, you hit the nail on the head there. To be pansies, to be little sissies and go,
Oh,
oh,
I was going to
is
say you
someone
hit the mushroom on the
cyberbullying you?
box.
Is someone cyberbullying you? It's okay. Come and run in this safe space. Tell me all about it. It's all right,
No, like
Johnny.
it's just like kids. Like my son came to me, said like somebody bullying him. Like you better go back out there and go whoop his ass real quick. I'll cover for you.
That's like
My
he's
mom,
bullying you and be like, "Okay, what do you mean by bullying? Like, explain it to me like I'm 5."
Be like,
Because if he
I
just said
remember.
to you, like, "You look funny with your glasses on," like, fucking get over it.
You do, you silly bastard. No,
I know
Right?
what you do
no.
is you go up to him and his mother. You slap his mother first, then you slap him.
No, who remembered the good old days when your own parents insulted you? My mom insults me constantly. It keeps me on the level. She'd
My
be like,
dad still
"You sound
insults me.
fucking like." I got done doing a review and doing my voice for my channel, General Zod, and my mom looks at me and goes, "You're a fucking idiot." And I was like,
No, when you
"Yeah,
were here, she said, "That's fucking gay."
yep."
It was hilarious. I
You,
almost fell out of the chair laughing.
you did not expect Mama Zod is real, but you don't have that. Now you have like my daughter tried that shit where she's at school and they're telling her in the school, oh, it's okay to take an emotional time out and to have a meeting with your parents. And she tried that bullshit here. And I said, this isn't the fucking UN. We aren't debating. You're the child. I'm the adult. And when you pay the bills here, then you can have your little UN meeting. But until there, get your ass in there and eat your potatoes.
It's your
Fucking
potato.
talking about
Who the fuck is
She's
passing up potatoes? Like, that's
Right.
ridiculous.
Especially with cheese.
no, because it was a no. This is how bad we're getting because the other people that she says where lets her pick her food, right? And that's a whole separate conversation for another day.
Ah,
But we had
yes. Can't be letting children pick stuff.
Yep. So we had a debate, and she didn't want to eat the baked potato, but she'll eat French fries. And I said, "What's the fucking difference? The fries are fried. They look different, but it's still fucking potatoes."
I mean,
It
first of
doesn't.
all, don't be that guy. There's definitely a difference between a baked potato and a French fry, but
Still
It's
potato.
semantic.
you still got to eat that fucking potato, kid. Like, if
Yeah.
you want to be
So
like that, I will just give you the potato and you can just eat it raw.
exactly, and it's gotten to a point where, but it made me see something scary. That this is what the school systems and everyone is fostering. This is what our culture is fostering. It's okay. Have a debate. No, the fuck you don't have a debate. I brought you into this world. I'll fucking take you out of it. This isn't a debate. This
No,
isn't
you ain't got to
a
be
debate.
debating children.
So
That's
so
ridiculous.
that's what happened with Terrence and his mom. Okay.
No, try that.
Ah,
Terrence said, "No, you're gonna have to fight me for."
What'd you say?
we ain't having a debate, son. Roundhouse. Where are you,
Oh,
Terrence? Are you listening, Terrence?
probably listen
Speak.
remotely.
Speaking of which, though, I can't wait. Me and him are actually having a we're gonna have a interview tomorrow, as a matter of fact.
Oh
So
my God,
you
you're
guys
having the 10-hour live stream tomorrow.
yeah. Before I go see The Grudge, so I'm gonna start at 8 in the morning.
Holy shit.
It's a 7 o'clock show. I got plenty of time.
Godspeed.
But
I'm gonna say a prayer for you.
thank you. But I mean, no. I mean, we're fostering this thing, and we're making these kids like seem like it's okay
You shouldn't call your
to
kid a
have.
thing.
I mean, we're fostering, as far as things mean, I mean views. We're fostering these views to these children. Like, it's okay.
Oh no, I was just twisting your words for comedic effect.
I love it when you do that. we're fostering these views that it's okay to sit here and not have parental figures, not have any guidance. The media wants to be the guidance, and that we've seen an uptick of this in 2019. The media trying to take control, and they can't get the older people. They can't get us who have been around and seen through their bullshit and went through the the proper era of schooling. Now they're trying to get the kids through the media, through Hollywood, through the schools. They're trying to start like little robots. They want the same opinion. And why? Why do they
Like
want to
little
live in a
bad robots.
Little
little
Terrence is
bad robot?
That's a J.J. Abrams.
So I mean, yeah, we're getting to an era where 2019 is just seemed all about trying to uh, indoctrinate people. I mean, of all ages, but mostly, and the college people. What is it with the college kids being fucking? Have you heard some of these debate in college campuses? Like,
They
I've
don't
gone
do
to college
debates at
campus.
college anymore. What are you talking about?
No,
they drink
I'm sorry,
beer.
talking. They don't even do
Get,
that anymore because
they get
there
bitches
might
knocked
be
out.
date rape.
Yep, they do that still.
Bill
I
Cosby.
mean,
Hey, hey,
I
hey.
mean,
You
they've
put the
been
roofie
taking.
in the pudding.
You put the roofie in the pudding pop, and then you put the pudding pop in the woman. And then you put yourself in the woman. It's a good time had by all.
Yeah, this show, my first of 2020 and my last. I feel like Dave Chappelle when he first started the Chappelle show and he said, "Well, he goes first episode. Let's get this motherfucker canceled."
Grand opening, grand closing.
Yep. But it's like, it's funny that we have to, as YouTubers, worry about this shit. We got to worry about what we say. I mean, just think about this. They pulled a history channel off of YouTube for showing Nazi symbols as a part of
Yeah,
their
you wouldn't want to
history
show stuff
thing
from
that they're
history on a history channel.
history channel. I mean, what? This
That'd
poor
be
guy
terrible.
gets pulled for showing shit from the historical period. Nah, man, that never happened. There was never nationalism. What? There wasn't a nationalist party.
Like don't
Hitler didn't exist.
in some southern states they in the history books they don't call slaves slaves, they call them indentured servants or some shit. What kind of fuck shit is
Oh, so a slave.
that?
No, no.
Try to
Like,
change
what
the
the
terms.
fuck? It's the same thing. Fucking weirdos.
Like indentured servant, motherfucker. I was not wanting to serve you, and and look at the word indentured. That isn't a nicer blow. The
Ridiculous
only
people.
indentured servant I ever saw was in that movie Django Unchained, and that was Samuel L. Jackson's character.
I always
I don't
say
think he was indentured.
Zamasu's
But I mean,
plan was better than Thanos' plan. Get rid of all the mortals. Just keep the deities. Just start over. Get rid of all the
yeah.
humans.
But I mean, it's been. Oh, what's up, Senate?
Oh,
I just realized that there was Senate. The
oh
J.
my God. Took me forever because I was on Twitter and yeah, same thing. I was like, oh, it's a new person.
I guarantee
He's
you
like,
that the Senate he's gonna get suspended or he's gonna get kicked off with Twitter within like
well, what
this month.
he needs to like always be ahead of the curve. Like as soon as he thinks he's gonna say something, just create an account.
Right.
Speaking of which, welcome, Sporking News Podcast. Good to have you on in the
Spork.
chat here. But I mean,
Everyone loves a
yeah, it's
spork,
been.
man. It is the greatest of all Taco Bell utensils.
It's alright.
But I mean, let's talk about that. You bring up a good point. Herb. They're literally, and I'm not even joking here. They're literally changing history books. They're. I mean, we talk about jokingly how Star Wars is trying to rewrite history, or other franchises, Disney is trying to rewrite their history, but these motherfuckers in school are literally changing history books, wording what they're saying because it's bad and we don't want the kids to learn. Why don't you want the kids to learn from history? Isn't there a saying? Don't you motherfuckers have a saying that goes, if we don't learn from history, we're doomed to repeat the same mistakes? And yet, what are we trying to do? We're trying to literally rewrite our history and pretend like it doesn't exist because we're afraid of someone getting PT or pissed off at a PTA meeting and going, I don't want little Susie to learn about this because it's so bad. I mean, what we took land, motherfucker, we took land from everyone. Why are we ashamed of it? How the fuck do you think anyone gets land? How do you think people conquer? Terrible shit happens. It's been done thousands of times. Guess what? US, we aren't squeaky clean. We're the most shisty motherfuckers.
No. That's England. We didn't rule half of the earth.
But my
Fucking
point
British
being is that
fucks.
everyone has done terrible acts to get to the position that they're in now, but pretending that these things don't exist is making fucking idiots. Because these kids are growing up thinking that this world is full of puppies and sunshine and safe spaces.
Dude, first of all, puppies are awesome. Sunshine
Love
is
puppies.
awesome. The world has both of these. That last thing is fucking stupid. And we need to eliminate all safe spaces. If you see a safe space, take a hard left. I'm serious.
Wait,
No, I'm 100% serious. If you ever see anywhere and it says safe blah 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 for any type of reason, and the
Run.
example is the Batman shooter, like at the theater where he committed the atrocity that he committed, there were no guns allowed.
Yep.
Well, it didn't stop somebody who's evil from committing an evil act because criminals don't follow the fucking law.
And
So
the
yeah, if you
irony
ever
is,
see a safe space, stay away from safe spaces because they're not safe. They're fucking stupid.
and the irony about it is, if you took that person and they tried some shit like that here, PB, that wouldn't happen because
I mean, it just
there'd be two
happened
or three
over the weekend or
motherfuckers.
whatever at that one church. The guy went in there, he tried shooting it up. I think he hit two people and one person stepped up and boom, killed that motherfucker dead.
Yep. Because guess what? They had the safety of their guns. See, everything in this world has a good and a bad. Everything has a good and a bad history. And pretending that one side of the argument doesn't exist doesn't make that issue go away. You know what makes it go away? Talking about it or working it out.
Oh, I thought you
or
were going to say a
figuring
porn
ways to solve
addiction.
this. Well, I don't see that as a real issue. Like when someone said, "Oh, I have a porn addiction," and be like,
That makes a lot of
How is
things
that
go
an
away.
addiction?
Well, they don't go away so much as they melt into the background.
But I mean, you know, I mean that, and it all
Type
comes
faster.
back. It all goes back to the. Oh God, type slower.
That I can't type. I'm using my controller.
Oh, shit.
I can't type that fast. I type with one hand.
So it all goes back to 2019, right? It's been the most, to me, closed-minded year. It's like people claiming to be open-minded,
I mean,
but they're
people have
really
been
not.
close-minded for the last like 20 something ever since I was born.
Yeah, but it hasn't been highlighted like this before because
This is
these
social
idiots,
media.
like we've said earlier, these idiots haven't had a platform.
So social media has amplified everything, if it's positive or negative.
Yep, facts, 100%. It's so for 2020. How do you think, panelists? How do you think that we should approach what we're doing here on our platforms? I mean, what is the fix for it? How do we take this and focus more on the positives rather than the negatives? What is the fix for this? What is the fix for more dialogue? What is the fix for
Well, I mean, the
combating
fix for focusing on more positives is easy. There's not going to be a Star Wars movie this year.
I mean,
No, really. Can't believe it.
But there's
No,
going to be
really.
a Black
the
Widow
Senate's
movie
not
that
very
apparently I'm not going to be able to talk to Perp for like 3 months before it.
I'm gonna find some spoilers. I'm like, yo, PB, she
He's going to
dies.
create a second account and it's going to be like just he's going to find some picture of some random chick and be create an account and be like, hey, I got something to share with you. I'll be like, oh, cool. And then he'll send it and it'll be a picture. And at the bottom of the picture, it'll have the spoiler. I'll be like, motherfucker, I know who sent
I would be
this.
like Scarlett Johansson in this movie has black hair.
Oh, that's why she's Black Widow.
Ah, son of a bitch, spoiling
But
it
You
from
heard it
already.
here first, people. Right there. The purple man told you.
she'll have black hair and she'll be like, all right, I gotta change this up, change my identity. I'm going to become a redhead.
Which I always approved of.
So, we're on the 2.5 hour mark, and it's been a pretty decent conversation. So let me go to let's go down the line here and find out.
I thought
I'm gonna
Perp didn't even say what he was going to be positive about.
I'm gonna be
That's
positive
what I was
about.
getting to.
I'm going to be positive about everything that's positive. We ain't gonna go into no negativity, but I'm gonna act the ass this year. I'm gonna let people know I'm gonna be a real douchebag this year. So no,
I thought he
no,
was going to say the
no more
biggest thing
Mr.
he was
Nice
going to be
Perp.
positive about was Attack on Titan final season.
Yes, that's going to be fucking epic. Hopefully, if Amazon, I'm pretty sure Amazon's smart. They give with Studio that bag for Vinland Saga season 2, so we ain't gotta wait next year for it. Um, yeah, they can fast track that and we can get it popping because Vinland Saga is amazing. I don't know what people are talking about, these Witchers and these Mandalorians and shit. I don't get all that's irrelevant. That shit is null and void. But we're going into 2020
It's
with
Manda
positive.
Hooligans.
Mandalorian. Mandalorian.
All right.
But
I mean, if you're talking about Jaina, I'm on board with that.
who?
I don't remember her name in the show off the top of my head.
Oh, Cardoon.
Yes.
Or like put me to sleep with NyQuil.
So let me ask you guys the and I'll go down the line. What are you guys looking forward to for 2020 and all that? Yeah.
I'm looking forward to uh getting this money, fucking all these bitches, as I step into the last years of my 20s. That's gonna be big. Kind of emotional when I think about it. Like, damn, about to be 30. It's very soon. Well, next year I'll be 30. But
Welcome to the downslide.
yep. But all I know is I look good, and I'm blessed with that. And I don't got no gray hairs, no nothing. I still get carded
Oh,
at
30's
movie
a
theaters.
magical age. That's when the shit starts. It starts with
Yeah,
one.
I'll be getting carded when I'm 40. So,
So
I'm looking forward to Cobra Kai season 3. Fuck yeah,
yes,
bring that to
yes.
me. Um, the saga, if they do come out with, I doubt it, but Attack on Titan final season starts. I'm ready for that. Give me that. I need that in my life.
We've had My Hero Academia.
Yeah, it's alright. It started off slow, but it's picking up some whatnot. But what else? Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's
There you
coming.
go.
Yes,
Was
Wonder
wondering
Woman's
when you were going to say that woman.
Wonder Woman's coming to make $2 billion. You know what I'm saying? Taking names. It's
God, I
going
hope
to jail.
so.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm definitely pulling for the 2 billion. I'll tell you right now. I want to see this thing smash Captain Marvel.
Because you know what, a lot of people don't give Wonder Woman respect, man. She come out there by herself. She don't need no co-signs. You don't need no Samuel Jackson. You
In
don't
a
need no.
skirt. A
Yes,
pleated skirt.
we don't need no Black Widow. We don't need no. You know what I'm saying? All we need is Gal, and Gal we
Oh
trust,
God, yes.
and Gal we trust.
Fact.
Hey, I'm
Fact.
still excited for Black Widow.
Yeah,
Mostly because it takes place inside of the Infinity Saga
and,
because it's a prequel.
I want to make a prediction in the next 5 years. Disney will make a Disney Plus series of Princess Leia, and they'll get Millie Bobby Brown to play young Princess Leia. I'm
Ooh,
making that
bold
prediction.
Interesting.
predictions from Perp. I, that's it's pretty acceptable position, though. I wouldn't mind Millie playing Princess Leia.
I gotta see this person.
From Stranger Things.
I've never watched that
Yeah,
show.
I'd be.
Oh my god, you live under a rock in the woods.
I don't live under a rock. I live under Cheese Mountain.
Speaking of which, PB, what are your hopes for 2020?
I hope he
What are
catches
you
up on
looking
Attack on
forward to?
Titan.
God, yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, there's a good hope for me to catch up on stuff
Anime,
that
mostly.
I'm far behind on. Because that's one thing I'm behind on, because I've told more than one person that I will watch that show. But the first time I tried watching it, it was only in Japanese, and I was like, nope, not doing subtitles. It's got to be dubbed, because that's how I roll.
You
Not
gotta watch.
everybody's the same.
You gotta watch Vinland Saga in sub though. It's alpha. So alpha.
I'm not watching it in subbed. I don't speak Finnish or Vinish. It's Vinland. I don't know
Well,
what the
they-
fuck they're speaking in that goddamn show. I assume it's Japanese, right? Even though they're in fucking Norway.
yeah.
Because that makes fucking sense.
Which the dub is going to be interesting to see if they gonna have their accent, because they have somewhat of an accent where they speak in
Ooh,
Japanese.
that will be interesting.
Because
I
they
didn't
do
even think
definitely
about
have
that.
like subtle accents. Like like if you're not used to subs, you won't be able to like really like tell the difference. But there are like little accents, little things here or there. But it's gonna be interesting to see how the dub is. I'll definitely rewatch the dub, but sub is epic. You know, it like the Vinland Saga is literally what I wanted out of Game of Thrones, minus all that dragon bullshit and whatnot. Like it's
Oh,
fucking
somebody doesn't
amazing.
like dragons.
No, it's not even like that, but I just like it just gets that whole shit right that Game of Thrones failed. You'll see what I'm talking about. Like to have the first season be a prologue is insane. That's insane to me. Just that with the way it ended. That's just a prologue. Like what the fuck?
That's one thing I'm looking forward to. That's supposed to come out sometime this year, right? That Game of Thrones prequel
Yep.
Supposedly, yeah.
that takes place in Valyria. That's the one that they stuck with. They got rid of the other one because they're like, yeah, no one's gonna give a fuck about the
Yeah, they
wall
said
that comes down.
they said this one's going to be about like the Lannisters or some shit like that. Or
No, the Targaryens.
yeah, whatever the fuck, whatever the 6-7 billion families there are, they're all the same.
Yep, there's a lot of families, that's for sure.
They're all cousins. They're all fucking each other.
I know, it's terrifying.
It's weird.
So I mean, yeah, we got some things to look forward to, but and what about channel wise, guys? What are you guys hoping for here in 2020?
I'll go first. So since it's gonna be long, like mine's gonna be long, I'll try to keep it like under a minute. But we got a lot of things coming, man. We got a lot of things coming to the channel, man. I'm gonna try to make like 500 videos, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get the shit done. Feel me? All right.
Only 500?
Yeah, I dropped like 420 this year, a little bit more than that, but you know, I could probably get to
Yeah, I
500.
know. So now that you're smoother at making them, I assume that you'd be doing more. Isn't
Depends
that what
on how.
YouTubers do?
Yeah, it depends, because I don't want to have a bunch of like episode reviews and shit. Like, I don't want my whole channel to be taken up on that. Like, certain ones I'll do, certain ones I'll just watch the whole thing and then review it.
Okay. That's fair. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm
You
looking
can
forward
start.
myself to doing more shows.
Okay.
And what
I
about
gotta
you?
catch up. I gotta catch up on a little bit of some high council. My bank of highlights is only half as full as it used to be. So there's still some in there that need to be made, but there's definitely some episodes that I fell behind. Don't know if there was an episode this week or not. nobody's gotten back to me yet. I've asked a couple people and haven't gotten a response yet. But I haven't checked Twitter in a couple hours because I'm not that type of internet person. Apparently, I'm bad at that. I mean, beyond that, I'm probably looking to put a lot more, not female thoughts out there, but intellectual thoughts out there. Want to make some what they call, what do they call them? Infinite videos that you'd be able to watch forever. So it's not necessarily like reviews or talking about what the hot topic is this week, but something along the lines of like LB's Finnish trash video. Like next year, you'll be able to watch that video and get the same enjoyment out of it as you did last week.
I like that.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm hoping to be making more videos like that people will be able to enjoy at any time. Like they seem to be enjoying the Mandalorian episode that I ripped apart. I keep getting feedback on that. So maybe I'll
yeah,
have to start some series of finding mistakes and yelling.
You definitely opened my eyes up to like when I heard the passion and the frustration in your voice. I was like,
It was
man,
rough.
PB's on to something, man. He's not falling for the okie doke.
Nope.
yeah. And I've been doing some more interviews. I'm really enjoying that, and you know, getting to actually talk with different YouTubers on, not just the normal subjects, but like their video and their passion. I find it interesting hearing different stories about how people got started, why they start the channel, and what they do. And I'm having fun doing those kinds of interviews. Like you said, PB, it's all about like extending uh, the life and being able to come back to a video and watch it. Those interviews have been just really fun to do and watch, and it's been great conversation. It's good to get insight because sometimes when you go to someone's channel, you only see like whatever they're talking about or they're breaking down or whatever else, but you don't get to get a good
Other
insight of
times when
why
you
they're
go to
doing what they're doing.
somebody's channel, all you see are Mad Squirrel thumbnails.
Yep.
Shout out to Mad Squirrel.
Yep. Yep.
Big shout out
Shout
to
out
Mad
to
Squirrel. She helped me
yep.
with the thumbnail that I did on my previous video. Freddie Prinz's Star Wars Stupid. You should go check it out. It's hilarious.
But yeah, we uh my channel, I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more interviews. I'm going to be doing some reviews. I'm going to be doing some picks. I already started filling my Zod's picks playlist. If you haven't checked it out, I did my top 10 picks for 2019, and I did the top 10 Star Wars. So
But there's
definitely go
only
And,
6 of them.
and you're going for 500 subs this year?
I'm going for 5. I'll be half a
You're going for
1,000 by
1,000.
2021.
I'm
And,
going
and
for
if
1,000.
and if he hits if Zod hits 500, he'll drink a whole bottle of Hennessy and break a board over his head.
Oh god, I won't be able to find the board. It'll be right in front of me.
You have to take the board home with him though, because he can't work from work.
No, I'm gonna have to bring a board into the lair.
The Fandom Zone lair.
Yep,
The
you're gonna
bad
get
guy
one of
later.
those videos. Also, too, guys, I actually got a good response on my Marvel Strike Force video, so I might be doing other Marvel Strike Force team composition breakdowns, going in depth to the new metas in the game, the different characters, and I might do my own beginner's guide because when people start that game and they look
Because
on
you're a
different
beginner?
YouTuber channels, yeah, because I'm essentially am still building up my teams. I just unlocked Nick Fury. I've
Scrub.
been playing this thing for like a year. So, so I mean, I'm going to put out some more videos from that perspective. Maybe do different games. I downloaded SOA, so I might do a video on the Sword Art Online game and a couple of other interesting things that I've come across. Maybe some DBZ things like that. But yeah, I mean, I want to try to hit all of the different communities this year and really expand what the channel is doing. Kind of got inspired by the fact that someone came in my comments and they said they used to go on Geeks and
Oh, that's
Gamers when they were covering
disgusting.
video
Don't
games.
let people come in your comments. You got to clean that shit out.
They used to go and watch the gaming portion of their videos, stop doing that. And then I had a couple of interviews with gaming channels, and they were like, it'd be good to have a source for other games. So I want to get some people who cover games on my channel and do interviews with them, maybe cover some different games that are coming out and things like that. So, I'm going to expand the list, definitely do some more crazy late night topics. We got to find some good news and maybe make a schedule for these. And I'm definitely looking forward to the middle finger emoji. Oh, there they are. Thank you. Said it. So let's go down the line here, start wrapping it up. Let's go to Perp Minded. Perp, you shared your thoughts, what you got coming, but what you got coming new? I know Power is going to be out. We got to do a round table on that. We got to do a round table and talk about theories.
I will have that up, Power review, and then we could probably discuss it whenever you get around to watching it. Yeah, we could probably just do the live. We could probably just do the live stream and shit on your channel and whatnot if you want. But I almost done watching You season 2. It's actually pretty dope.
Oh, that was fire.
Yeah, it's that show's pretty sick. What else I got? I dropped like 5 videos today. So, yesterday. Yeah. So, I had those, locked and loaded just to get the year going, but got a bunch of other videos I want to drop very soon. So expect those, I would say this is a better start than last year for me, Last year I got kind of lucky with the YouTube original series, Wayne, that came out like really early in like January. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna just do it episode by episode. But I got a better grasp of what I want to talk about so far. But content is coming as soon as the year goes. So content is coming. That's it.
Nice, good. And yeah, we'll definitely do some kind of thing before Power premieres, and we'll just do our thoughts and speculations. People can come on the channel, and we'll set something up early so we can promo it. Maybe we'll do it before
we'll talk about it.
Yeah. PB, the commander, the co-host, the person who keeps the fandom zone in line. What do you got coming, and what can we expect for the new year?
I mean, you can expect the usual stuff, High Council highlights, me talking about the random subject whenever it, trips my trigger. But I suppose, I don't know, I'm going to have to record my review for The Rise of Skywalker sometime here in the very recent future. Because I got it all scripted out and everything. It's just a matter of recording it. Procrastination is my best friend.
By the time you make the review, it's going to be out of the theaters.
Yep. I'll have it out
Perfect
just
timing.
in time for the Blu-ray.
Yeah,
Great.
there's still
Great
people
timing.
putting out reviews, so let them get their shits out, and then you come in with the kill shot.
I feel like I still have some original things to say on it, so
Yeah, definitely check that out, because I'm gonna be looking forward to that. And here in the fandom zone, we could have a lot of great things coming out. I released my top 10 movies of my picks for 2019. I also have the worst of 2019 coming out. That was a little bit later because I had such a long list that it was hard just picking 10. I already knew what my number one was going to be, but I did not have. It was hard coming up with the other ones because there were a lot of shitty movies and some that didn't make the list, and I put them in the honorable mentions. But anyways, I got my top 10 worst coming, and also I have an interview with Terrence today, actually. So
Shot
that's gonna
fair.
be that's gonna be a fun little interview we're gonna have, and I've got a lot more awesome interviews lined up. I'm talking with Gary, and I'm gonna see if I can get him. I'm trying to get some other people from the Fandom Menace on here just to get a different perspective of their channel and why they started it. Get the side people don't see beneath the ranting, supposedly, and the raving that they do and the hating on everything. Let people know that, they're people just like us. And it's
Some of
good
them.
to have yeah, it's good to have a chat to get to know the YouTubers and what their motivations were for different things. I'm
Zod is a
also going
person?
to be doing. Oh yeah, I'm just a fellow Kryptonian, just trying to make his way in this human world. also too, I'm going to be starting my Zod picks. With my first pick is going to be Justified, and I'm going to do a series overview and tell you why I've picked it as one of the shows you should watch if you've never seen it before. And I'm going to list a reason for why and kind of give a brief overview.
What if I have
I got
seen it
my Grudge
before?
interview. Then why you should be watching it again.
Oh.
Because these aren't shows that are just worth one watch, folks. These are shows that you can watch countless times and get something different out of them. So we're going to be doing that, and I've got my review of The Grudge, which I will be doing tomorrow night. Should be out about 9 or 10 o'clock, because that'll be probably when I finish it. So, or finish watching it at 7. It's about an hour or something. Yeah, so I'll probably have my review out by 11. So, anyways, thank you, everybody. I appreciate having you guys in 2019 come to the channel and support us. We all appreciate the Fandom Zone, appreciates it. And for 2020, we're all going to be bringing you guys the best possible content. But still remember, there's only one rule, and it's for every year. Kneel before General Zod.
Don't drop the soap.
Oh, that's a terrible